Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? So today we are going to be talking to Don Semora of Wizard Tower Games, talking about conventions and some gaming, publishing, and a whole bunch of other stuff. You know us, we stay right on topic. So
Laser
as
focus.
absolutely, as always, I'm Game Master Roger. This is no, I keep doing that well, whatever. There's Ducato over there, there's Jason over there, and below me is Don. So there we go. I can't tell my left from my right trying to point on these things. I still can't figure it out. And we're at like almost 50 videos, so it's never gonna happen.
Really? 50?
So, well, I think there's a bunch of shorts out there. So,
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think that brings the number up. Yeah, the magic AI shorts make the numbers go up. So, what have you guys been doing this week? I went to Page, and so my normal weekly game did not run, and instead Ken, when we came back, ran a Fallout game with Ashes Without Number, Kevin Crawford game. Those are fantastic.
It was excellent.
Yeah, that was a
cool.
good time. What have you been up to, Ducato? You get anything?
I didn't buy anything, shockingly enough.
No.
But I did start Shadow Dark for my Thursday night group. So I got 4 players for that, and 3 of them had never played it before, so they were fans. So we'll continue that for a while.
Nice. Yeah, I'm planning on trying that for 5 to 6 weeks or so coming up soon, and we'll see if we're going to stick with it. We'll see. Yeah, Jason, you were in the Fallout game. What you do any other gaming?
Just playing Fallout on my PC, man.
I'm sure that I was going to say I'm sure that you put about 40 hours into Skyrim, but I know you've been
no,
Fallout
not
talking.
Skyrim. I've taken a little break from Skyrim. Doesn't mean I don't love it. No, I've been playing Fallout. I started I played Fallout London. It was great. And since I had to reinstall Fallout 4 onto my PC to play that, I started playing Fallout 4 again. Excellent. Nice. Whenever I kick on my Xbox, I play Fallout 3. So yeah, just surrounded by Fallout, man. That's been my week.
Nice.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Don, what about you, Don? You do any gaming this week or?
Nope, no gaming. Just all layout and prepping games.
Just grinding the work, huh?
Yeah.
That's how it is, right?
Yeah, sadly.
So I bought a ton of stuff at Page. I mean, because I have a problem with vendor booths, and I start talking to them, and then I'm like, oh, this is cool, and I let them talk me into things that I shouldn't. So just a couple things that I wanted to show. I got this picked up this Realms of Elgrun, which is a science fantasy RPG. It really didn't look that interesting to me until he said that it was based on Legend of Zelda. And he's got this module that goes with it that's Wrath of the Blood Moon, and it runs like Majora's Mask, where there's like a 3-day time limit, and it keeps like resetting the time loop, and you're trying to do different things going through it. I don't know how that would work as a tabletop thing. It might get kind of monotonous, but I'm excited to try that out. I also got an infinity of ships. I think Questing Beast had looked at it. It's pretty much system agnostic, and it's just for any sci-fi system. It's just got a bunch of ships, ship art, and just ship like charts and tables about different rooms and different parts and pieces.
Does it have interior floor plans for that,
I didn't really see there's a few, I think, but not a whole lot. Yeah, so some of them have like a ship layout that's sort of like for like a little module type of thing. It shows where things are, but not all of them have that. It's mostly just ship design and then a bunch of charts to do different things with, just to randomly generate stuff, and mostly in a lot of pictures, of all the different ships. I think it'd be cool for some sci-fi games to run that. And then Cannibal Publishing had this Shadowpunk. So this is Shadowrun for Shadow Dark,
nice.
basically. And I know Jason's into Shadowrun, and so I got a copy for him as well. This is from William from Cannibal Publishing, put that out. So that's kind of cool to take a look at. Other than that, yeah, ran into and talked to a ton of people this weekend. Jason Vey, Stephen Chenault, Chuck Cumbo of Troll Lord Games, right? I talked to those guys. Those guys are fantastic. Alex Kammer from Game Hall Con. I was in an Alien game of his. Talked to him for a little while. First time I met him. Scott Legault, Rising Phoenix.
Yep.
I got to talk to him for a little bit. Mike from Thunderstruck. Joe Block. Erica Lowe of Talon and Crow. She ran a Ragna board game. She was absolutely amazing. Troy and William from Cannibal Publishing. Duck and Crow Press. Ran into James Mello. He writes modules for Shadow Dark. And of course, some of my favorite GMs, Matt Elias, George Hardy, and Cyrus Dwayne were there, perusing stuff. So I've gamed with those guys before, not this weekend, but they're a fantastic crew, and I believe they'll all be at CNY in June.
Excellent.
But yeah, that's what I've got. So that was that. But yeah, that was a long weekend. So Don, so we're here to talk about you, so might as well talk about you, right? So this is sort of gaming adjacent, but I don't know if a lot of people know this about you. Now, back in December, I noticed that Home Depot was selling an almost full-size R2-D2.
Yes.
Like 85% scale or something like that. It's like
92%.
92%. Okay. All right. So 92% scale. Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there that have been trying to, for like $300 too.
Yep.
But not all the stores got them. Mine locally never had them.
Yep.
Which is probably for the best, because I probably would have bought one.
They're big on the secondary market. You'll pay $600, $700, $800 for them.
Sure, I bet people just go in and just scalp them, probably. Yeah. But there's a YouTube channel out there that step by step kind of goes through making it more realistic, called Falcon FX Studio.
Yes.
And whoever's making those videos sounds a lot like you, Don.
You know what? Because that's my model building channel. I just started it, and the R2 was my first thing I did.
That's fantastic. So you do model building. You do scale models for props and stuff, right?
I do movie props, studio scale models for Star Trek, for Star Wars. I did Kathleen Kennedy, her X-wing that was in her office that was studio scale. So I do a lot of stuff like that.
That when you say studio scale, is that like the really like huge ones that you see that they use for like for filming and stuff?
Yeah, it's 1/24 scale. So like the X-wing is like 26 inches long. The Y-wing is about 28 inches long. Cool. I've got a 38-inch blockade runner. I'm going to be starting here on the channel next week. Awesome. Yep. So just a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, I do a lot of studio scale stuff.
Do you build this stuff from scratch, or is there like you start with a kit usually, or?
Well, you have to understand a lot of these are what they call garage kits. So what they
Okay.
are is there's a what they call a master made, which is a pattern, and then there's silicone molds made, and then you pour it with full resin. Is what you do. And 3D printing is now getting more and more like in our large formats that we have. We do a lot of
Sure.
3D printing and stuff like that. So
Yeah, 3D printing has definitely come a long way.
yeah, it's really not a good idea though, because people are making these things out of resin printing,
Sure.
and they don't realize that resin is cured by exposing it to UV rays.
Right.
So these guys are building these big kits out of resin, and they put them out, and ambient sunlight will go through the paint. That's UV, and it brittleizes the resin.
Oh, right.
So guys are having models a year and a half, 2 years later, they pick them up and they're snapping wings off and stuff and getting frustrated. It's like that's why you don't do it like that.
Right. So
That's
so you wouldn't use resin, or could you coat it with something, or how does?
I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried like using like heavy black primer, thinking it was going to block the UV, but they get brittle after a long time.
So there's really, yeah. There's nothing you can do about it.
Not really, no. So the best way is you just use just casting resin, which is like a polymer plastic resin, and do it that way.
I've seen some people that do like like they make the stormtrooper stuff.
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll 3D print like the pieces, and then make a silicone mold
Yep.
from that, and then use whatever some kind of a resin, or I guess what, I don't know.
Yeah, they're using 3D printing to make the master, which is
Yeah.
like a pattern, like this. That's the octagon port for R2D2, for the Home Depot R2D2. So you make this is 3D printed, and then make a resin mold of this, and then pour resin by a company called Smooth On. It's a plasticized resin into it, and then you can go ahead and you can have something that's more stable, if you will. So
that's
yeah.
cool.
And with the R2s, what's so popular, you're paying $300 for almost a 92% scale R2D2. And I mean, you probably went to my channel. I mean, what I do is I make them authentic. I add the data ports to them. I add
Sure.
electronics to them. I do all the bells and whistles to them. So
Yeah. That's fantastic.
I do a lot of model building on the side.
Here's a great Star Wars question for you. Is it the is it the executor or the executor?
Executor. Yeah.
Jason wants to argue with that.
It's per canon. It's called executor. So
Canon doesn't apply to Disney Star Wars.
that's true.
I was going to be snarky when you said you did the X-wing for Kathleen Kennedy. I almost said, "Does she know what that is?"
I'll give Miss Kennedy one thing. She knew what the T65 Red 5 was. So we got to give props to it. So
Is it T65A1?
she is actually quite knowledgeable. But
Really? Well,
scary.
Would reflect more in the movies.
I should pass on.
Yeah.
I should stop.
I'm going to pass on that one.
Yeah.
Hyperborea at the con. We have Hyperborea. I think somebody was running it at CNY. I think Bloodworth ran Hyperborea, didn't he?
I think he said he did.
CNY.
No, he's gonna. He didn't run it then.
He didn't?
He didn't run it last year. Okay,
No.
I thought somebody
No.
was running it. But yeah, he's planning on running it this year. What about WizardCon? You got somebody running Hyperborea out there yet?
Not Hyperborea, not yet. Nope, we've got people signed up for Shadow Dark, OD&D, 5e. We got bunch of top secret stuff happening and such.
Yeah.
So.
Is Merle coming?
Yep.
Cool.
Merle's wife.
Cool. Yeah, he
I'm
was
not sure.
walking around
It
this
sounds
weekend.
like you should go to WizardCon and run Hyperborea.
Yeah.
That's
There
what
we
I
go.
heard.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going to WizardCon.
Yeah, I'll be coming to CNYK. I'll run D20 Delving, and I'll run
Yeah,
Upper
cool.
Gangbusters. So
Excellent.
Yeah, D20 Delving. Now you mentioned that earlier on another
Yeah.
stream. That's the board game.
that's the board game I do at Tim Cask. Yes.
Okay, cool. That sounds like fun. Is that like a dungeon type?
It's a dungeon crawler game, and all the cards have a QR code on them, and when you scan the QR code, you hear Tim Cass reading the card. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
That's neat. That's neat.
yeah, but
Um,
a good thing for him, kind of for his legacy, I think.
yeah, it's awesome. He's
Yeah.
got his voice out there for forever. Like James Earl Jones, right?
Yep.
So you do a lot of miniature building and stuff. I mean, you called it something different than miniature. I don't want to insult it by calling it miniature building.
No, you're
right?
fine.
Okay.
You know,
Um,
I do a lot of large scale model building.
large scale model. Okay, that's
Mhm.
different than miniature.
Yes.
What do you apply any of that to Dungeons and Dragons, or like do you build terrain and stuff, and all of that, or
I never really got into heavy terrain because I'm really more old school, So I might have like a battle map or something on my dry
Sure.
erase mark something as they're mapping or going through it. Um, the large scale model building really doesn't transfer over well to D&D because everything I make is 2 feet long, 4 feet long. You know, I got to do a Millennium Falcon out there. It's in my workshop. That's almost 4 foot long. So just the big stuff is all it is. So,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I the detail helps
sure,
because collectors are picky.
No
yeah, I
doubt.
bet.
Oh,
Did-
Star Wars and Star Trek collectors are absolutely the most anally retentive,
I
picky
bet.
people. I mean, right down to the mark on the wing, the little blast mark or dots.
Yeah.
And Star Trek is worse than Star Wars.
Yeah. Do you ever risk Games Workshop wrath?
Yeah. The funny thing is, there's just not a market for minis. We thought about getting into it with Wizard Tower Games, and we kind of threw it out there a few years ago and just had no interest in it because so many people do them. And you can go
Yeah.
now buy a resin 3D printer for
Right.
$90 now,
Right.
and
Yeah, and you can
print
get
off a
decent
bunch of them.
results.
Yeah.
I've got an FDM printer. I've printed some minis and stuff on it, mostly for monsters and things for the table,
Yeah.
and it's fantastic for that. I do a lot of terrain, like as I need it, and I got to be careful not to fill up my house, with all the stuff. But yeah, I see some cool shit, and I'm like, oh, I got to print a ton of that now, and print it.
Yeah.
And it's definitely cheaper than going out and trying to buy, even $5 a mini, or
Mhm.
or Games Workshop pricing. It's
Oh, yeah.
great, $30-$40. I mean, they're high quality. They're nice, don't get me wrong, but I just
Mhm.
that's a game I can't afford to play, I guess.
It's like large scale model building. I get people that contact me and they say, I want like a 40-inch, Enterprise. And I always tell them our next thing, I'm like, you may want it, but when you get it, where are you going to put it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sure enough, they'll order one. I'll ship it to them. They'll be like, damn it, I didn't know it was this big. Oh, I'm like, I tried telling you. I mean,
40 inches.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's common. 30-inch, 32, 40-inch, 48-inch models. That's real common with the big collectors.
I used to have the Lego Executor, and and I think it was 48 inches long. It was something like that. It
Wow.
was it was tremendous. One of my favorite builds of all time. Wonderful model, and I loved having it. But it got to the point where I was like, this thing is taking up a whole lot of space, and I had to get rid of it. It was a good investment. I made twice my money on it. Legos will always sell well.
Oh yeah, they just came out with the Death Star, I think.
Yes, I think this is their third or fourth version of the Death Star.
Yeah, with the interior cutaway or something.
Yeah, that one's like flat though, or something, isn't it? It's not.
No,
like
this is a
it's
round. This is like a round one that's cut away. It's the new version.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I had the original Death Star 1. I really wanted the Death Star 2 because that unfinished, that construction thing looks super cool, but I couldn't afford that thing at the time.
Yeah.
But the Death Star 1, it was a fun build, but I wouldn't say it was a great build. But the model was very cool. There are tons of miniatures. Every scene is encapsulated in this thing, so it was really cool. I have a model question for you.
Sure.
You were talking about how the Star Wars and Star Trek nerds are super picky about the models, and that immediately got me thinking. When you think Star Trek, you're going to think about the Enterprise, regardless of which version. It's the Enterprise. That's what you think of. Whereas Star Wars, X-wings, TIE fighters, Y fighters, A-wings,
Mhm.
The different space stations, all and all the terrain vehicles, all the
Yep.
the land vehicles. Um, when you set about to make a model, either Star Wars or Star Trek, which particular franchises models do you think are more difficult? I think the Star Trek, in my opinion, the Star Trek fans are more picky about the very fine details, but the Star Wars fans want, I don't know, more, I guess.
Well, they kind of have unique problems with each. The Star Trek problem is whenever you get into something like the refit, they
Mhm.
call it the Enterprise refit. There's a thing called Aztec painting. Are you familiar with it?
I'm not.
The Aztec paint pattern is a 6-color pattern that's metallic, that's just slightly colored. So when you hit the light, it kind of hits all the panels. And that's really time intensive. It takes about 3 weeks to paint that on a model. And that's if you're working on it for 4 to 6 hours a day, literally.
Okay.
Wow.
So for Star Trek, the refit is the picky one. But for Star Wars, probably the original Star Wars New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, the first three, those are the most difficult because what people do is they pull screen grabs, and it's like the Millennium Falcon. Millennium Falcon is probably the most difficult model to make accurately
Right.
because what
What's
people don't
going on in
realize,
the exterior of that vehicle?
yeah, because there's two versions.
Mhm.
The New Hope version, which is the first Star Wars in '77, has different landing gear than the Empire Strikes Back Return of the Jedi version.
Yep.
So you have that, and then the paint patterns and the specs on them are different. And what people don't realize is all the artists signed the Millennium Falcon on the Empire Strikes Back, and their signatures and their names are written on the models and sit in little hidden places. And the
Wow.
Oh, that's
collectors,
cool.
yeah, the
Oh.
collectors want that, and they want it in the same way they wrote it.
Wow.
So, oh yeah, the Millennium
That's
Falcon is an absolute beast to paint.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, for me, it would be Luke's X-wing, probably post Dagobah.
that's the next one that's most difficult to do.
There you go. Yeah, it had.
Red 5. Yep, Red 5 it's called. And
Yeah.
you get guys that they want a Red 5 and they don't realize that, when you're dealing with these collectors, there's actually specs where they took literally the guys at the ILM took a paint or a toothbrush, dipped it in paint and just took them and spattered it. And the collectors want those spatter marks in the exact location.
That's so cool.
Boy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's
That's
nuts.
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, so what do you do in that case? You take like a single horsehair, and you're just like,
You literally take a 0032 brush,
yeah,
dip it, and dab.
and just trying to match it up.
Yep. But I've done over, I think I've done over 50 Millennium Falcons and probably 50 or 60 X-wing Red 5s. So I mean, I just I have my image references because a lot of that stuff you have to get it just right. Because again, high end collectors, they're paying you good money, and they want when they say I want it authentic, that's right there.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Do you have a favorite one that you do that it's like you like this isn't a giant pain in the ass like
I love building the Y wing.
why one?
I love all the piping on the Y wing.
Yes,
I
dude,
love
the
the detail. Yeah.
Man, I had the Ultimate Collector Series Lego, and I'm going to keep talking about the Legos. If we
Oh,
talk
you're fine. No, Lego's great. I mean, they do
The-
great.
the
Yeah, the Legos are about our extent of the model building.
the UCS Y wing. Like in the movie, you can see there's lots of stuff going on the Y wing, but when I started putting that together, because the UCS is really high detail.
Yeah.
I was astounded by all the detail that is on that thing. It's the number of pipes and tubes.
Yep.
Absolutely incredible. One of my all-time favorite models for sure.
Yep. And Slave 1 is a very difficult model to make just because the way the paint pattern is chipped. And they'll actually want the exact same outline of the same paint pattern. Vader TIE Fighter is actually pretty easy to do,
Cool.
luckily. So,
The Snow Speeder is another one of my favorite Legos.
Yes.
Again, the UCS. Man, because that was another one. Like because I got it. The UCS comes out. Every May 4th they release a new one, and I got it. I was like, yeah, I'm not really into the snow speeder, but I'm not going to miss this year's model, so I went and got it. And man, I started putting it together, and I was like, this thing is badass. Like now I'm a fan of the snow speeder. This is so cool.
Yeah, and it depends on which version you want to do. If you want to do the gray version, which is Luke's, or you
Yep.
want to do the orange stripe version, which is Big's, and it's like, and that's the thing people don't realize. They're like, well, I want the orange stripes. I'm like, you wear that's not Luke.
Yeah. Wait,
You
what?
know? Yeah, they're like, what? It's like, yeah, it's not Luke. So you gotta be careful.
Very cool.
That's cool. Yeah. So you've been doing the model building for a while. Yeah, I apologize. I'm calling it model building. Large
No,
scale.
you're fine. I've been doing. I'm happy to talk about model building. I've been building models since I've been 10, but probably about the last 10 years. It was right after I got out of the Army. I was married to my wife for a while, and I built an X-wing, or no, excuse me, yeah, an X-wing, and I put it online. And a guy reached out to me from Chicago and said, "Hey, I own a company that sells these things. We want to get into model building. You want to build them for me?" And I was like, "Sure." So I started building for him.
Nice.
Yep.
That's cool.
Fate knocked at the door and you answered. That's
right.
That's super
Yeah.
cool.
It's interesting that like you like doing it and then you kind of do it as like a job and then you still like doing it.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people like, and I've always been afraid of like, trying to like GM, at a paid table or, you know what I mean, to pay for that, because I feel like as soon as you make it a job, I'm not going to like it anymore. Now
That's the thing you have to be careful about model building. And I always caution young model makers when they say they want to open up a business, because I'm like, listen, when you're doing a model for yourself, if you want to take 3 days off, you can take 3 days off. But if you tell that client, I'll have it done in 6 weeks, I promise you, on the 6-week mark, the day of 6 weeks, you're getting an email or call from them.
Yeah.
And it's my model done.
Yep.
So, it takes a lot of dedication, because I run a full line model shop too, along with Wizard Tower Games. I think you've seen my workshop in my videos. And
Death Angel showed up late. We gotta start over.
Oh, okay.
Started from the top.
It's the same thing though with like commission miniature painting. It's like that fine line of like, I love painting miniatures. I'd paint miniatures if I didn't play role playing games, but like you can easily like cross that line where, wow, this isn't any fun anymore. And that's something I struggle with a little bit. I'm not having fun, but like not making sure I don't do that.
Yeah, and the funny thing is about model building is there's two kinds of customers you got to watch out for in model building. There's, the guy who's the collector. He's got money. Like I deal with a surgeon in Washington State. I've probably done 50 models for him. They got money. If you tell them it's going to take me 5 months, they're like, okay, who cares? Take 5 months. But then you got the guy, and I'm not trying to knock anybody for this, but the worst kind of collector to get is the guy who saves up for like a year or two to afford it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what do you mean?
It's very personal at that point.
Yes, it is. So you have to really be careful of that and really make sure that you have your boundaries set with them, because being late on model building is very common, because you can run into issues.
Sure.
You show them a production image of you in progress doing it. They don't like it. They want it done differently. And you also, before you start the model with the customer, it's really good to kind of like I've got a whole checklist I do with them, because if they say they want a Red 5 X-Wing, I send them photos. This is what I've done before. Here's 4 or 5 of them. Which one do you want? Because everybody has a little variation, and of course it's always the one that's most detailed they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I'll get, and right now I think the tough one for me is, or the one that's a little bit more complicated, is like if I do Games Workshop stuff, because I don't play those games. I mean, I paint some of their models and stuff for my own use, but I use them for role playing games. But like the Space Marines and stuff, there's so many different factions, and then there's so many, you get those kits, and there's so many different ways to build them. Like there's a lot of back and forth between myself and the client. Like, what do you want here? Like what weapon does this guy have? What all the armor the way it is. They're neat, and the lore is really cool. I mean, my first real big commission was an army of Dark Angels. So I was pretty much sick of painting Dark Angels by the end of it, but it was cool to learn about all the Dark Angel stuff and that faction of Space Marines. But yeah.
Yeah, and the other aspect of big scale model building is you have clients that want them not lit, and then you want clients who want them lit. Like the blockade runner I'm getting ready to do for a lady. She's an attorney in Ann Arbor, not far from me. It's a 38-inch blockade runner model, and she wants it totally lit up for her husband. Engines, the main cockpit area. And then I got a Battlestar Galactica, a 42-inch one I got to start for her and her husband. And she wants that lit up, and that's all kind of LED fiber optic lighting effects for the landing bays, engines, and all that. So it can get complicated.
New or old Battlestar Galactica?
The only good one, the original.
I watched the newer one. I didn't think it was that bad.
I think the newer series is better than the original series. I love the fact they still had used phones. They didn't have laser guns.
Okay.
They had. I love the newer version, but as far as the ships go, I just love that old Battlestar Galactica. It's just
okay.
I like that crunchy look. Over.
I did like the start the I don't know what it's called. It's been so long since I watched it, but the good guys Starfighter was always like
Viper?
super cool. The Viper, yeah. I always liked that when I was a kid, like that. They'd launch out of those tubes and go
matter
out.
Of fact, right there, I've got a 28-inch Colonial Viper.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
cool. That's
so
awesome.
yeah, model building is definitely can be a Don't get me started on it. We'll be here all night.
Yeah,
my daughter will be calling me. Hey,
and I heard you're gonna have some of the stuff on display at WizardCon.
Yeah.
Now,
that's cool.
Are you part of a group or something? Like, there's going to be other people that have stuff there, or is it just your
I'm going to
stuff?
have my our Falcon FX table. It's going to be there, and we're going to have let's see what we're going to have an R2 and R5, 3-foot Millennium Falcon, bunch of studio scale. We got X wings, A wings, Y wings, Star Destroyers.
Oh wow!
The 42-inch Battlestar Galactica. She's going to loan me to put there. Just a whole bunch of studio scale big stuff.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be great. You've got like an area or a room or something you're going to have all that stuff displayed in, or?
Yep. We're going to have it back in the back corner when you walk in the game room in the back far corner.
Little museum area there. That'll be cool.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Check that stuff out. Yeah, that's awesome. This guy, he keeps going on about Babylon 5 every video. It's like the Kmart Star Trek, I think. I don't know. I Kmart Deep Space Nine, I think that's what
The funny thing is, Babylon 5 is not a popular model series to build.
Because it wasn't a popular series. Oh,
because it wasn't popular. Death Angel was the only one that watched.
I'm all quiet on that.
No, I because Death Angel he's been on top of it, like with me saying it's good, you should check it out. Like, so I'm gonna go back and we'll watch like the first couple episodes and see how it goes. And it'll probably be terrible, but ouch.
It's nothing personal, man. I promise.
Nothing personal, just your taste, I mean,
it's awful.
No,
it's okay.
So you run a publishing company as well, right? Wizard Tower Games.
Yep.
And we've kind of talked about publishing and stuff before on the channel every now and again. And it's kind of come up in conversation that, I think the infrastructure is here for printing books, and printing things on paper. There's a lot of, presses and stuff here. Obviously because of, the tariff situation, or trying to get away from having stuff print overseas and all of that, whatever the reason is, right? We're trying to ramp up stuff here. But it seems like the problem isn't in books. It's in all the other stuff that is attached to our hobby. Like trying to get miniatures and dice and things like that. It seems like a lot of that stuff has to still be imported. Do you see, like, what's your take on it? Do you see yourself like getting into doing dice production and miniatures and
probably not. The problem with miniatures is everybody has a 3D printer now, and everybody can print their own stuff. So really, the market for minis. In fact, I'm surprised Games Workshop is still viable, because just the mini market out there. I mean, like Takato said, he just makes his own miniatures and does them.
Yeah.
And that's what people do.
I think the Games Workshop miniatures hold their value only like for the same reason that Magic cards are just pieces of paper and they hold their value. And it's
Well,
just
they
because they have
tie
value
the
inside the
game
game.
into their minis.
Yeah.
And they're very strict on their IP. You
Right.
get caught printing anything Games Workshop from a
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like
They'll come after you.
filed, yeah, they'll go after you. I mean,
Well,
they're
and they
like
have
Disney.
to.
Yeah.
They have to, because if the one time they don't, that opens it up for everybody to do it.
Yeah. And the problem with dice is there's already a couple people who make dice in the United States, but the tariffs have definitely took a hit, because like with paper with us,
Sure.
paper used to be bought from China. You'd buy it by unit, by pallet. Then the tariffs hit, and the retaliatory tariffs at one time was 125%. And at one time we had like 70 grand in customs of paper, and our tariff was 97,000 on it. And I was like,
Jeez.
send it back. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, you got no choice. So, and the problem with U.S. paper suppliers is how they responded to it was they said, "Oh, really? We're raising our prices."
Yeah.
So they raised their prices by 40%, but the market's stabilized now with paper. So U.S. based supplier for paper and all that. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm and and maybe I'm like a little bit slighted in some of this, but like walking around the conventions, I've seen a couple things where like Kickstarters that I've backed, and the books are there, the books are getting sold, and I don't have my copy from Kickstarter yet, and that's because I'm waiting on dice or minis that are part of my all in pledge, to get manufactured and sent over from China. And so it's kind of a shitty situation, I think.
well, that's the big key here is the key. And I think, in some ways tariffs, I think, have hurt us economically on the whole. But I think for smaller creators, tariffs has also maybe helped us, because it helped us rethink how we do business here in the United States
Sure.
and look for American made if possible, that type of thing. Dice are easy. Things like dice. I mean, hell, you can go on Amazon and get 30 sets of dice for $30. I mean, it's just insanely cheap. You can go on Amazon and get dice, but
Knave too. Yeah. Well, I don't want to get into that argument. Paul likes to disagree with everything I say. He's right. Knave 2 was a problem. The game is fine. It's just, it was like $50 and it's a half size book that's like 40 pages. It's just like
well, it's also pricing. I mean, pricing is a big thing. It depends where they get their books at.
Yeah.
You go POD, like through Lightning Source. And a lot of people don't realize is, and I really stress this a lot, is a book is not a book is not a book. I mean, Lightning Source, like Amazon, they bind fast. When that book goes into they call it a gutter sleeve on a binding machine, and it slides in, and that gutter machine clamps down over that book. Amazon literally goes clamp. 3 seconds later, let's go of it, and it shoots on, instead of letting it sit for 45 seconds like you're supposed to. And that's why you get a better bind, because pages tend to stick better when you bind it properly. Same thing with case bound, but so many creators are price driven.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to do 1,000 books for. I can't say the company because I'm under NDA, but we're getting ready to do 1,000 books for a small company out in the Midwest. And what I liked about them is we were not the cheapest bidder for them. They could have got it cheaper.
Wow. Okay.
They could have went POD and got it a lot cheaper, but they were like, no, we want better quality. So
Nice.
Because they know that their reputation relies upon their book. If you buy a book and you're playing and it falls apart after 3 months, you're going to be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so you're printing everything in house now?
We are, once we get our binding operation back up and running. We had the fire.
I know.
So
Yeah, there was the fire
we
next
have,
door, and you
yeah,
had some
yeah,
damage and
we have
stuff.
machines sitting in customs right now from Germany. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
So
everything
soon
in house. We print,
you'll be
bind
up.
everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, that'll be awesome. And you'll be doing so you're not just printing your own stuff, you're publishing and printing other people's stuff.
We're gonna begin POD, but we're not doing onesie twosie. We're gonna do case quantity only, so like 18 to 24 at a time. So
Okay.
we'll be offering POD services based upon minimal quantities. I don't want to get into somebody saying, "Hey, I want one copy of X." I mean, that's just not worth my time to fire up
Sure.
my printer, print it, cut it, bind it, and send it out. But people want like a case quantity of 18 to 24 books minimum. I think is what we're going to get into.
So you're
Cool.
But
aiming.
we also do. We'll also be doing card games too. So we have card cutters and all that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But so as far as like the board, like so card games, but if you get into board games and stuff, plastic pieces and all that'll still have to come.
Well, we're the board games that we're still able to produce board games, but it's going to be strictly for us. Um, we're getting into publishing now, also other people's games. So if somebody hires us to develop the board game for them, we'll produce that board game initially for them, and then kind of show them through education how to get it produced more mass and cheaper.
Okay. Yeah. Well, like I said, that was just something that came up in a few conversations where we were talking about, the printing industry and stuff like that. And
It's a
it's
tough
amazing
industry.
now. It is, and it's amazing now the print on demand, like how much that has kind of come along in the last few years. Even drive through, some of the books now you can get with a stitched binding, and I don't know how they're doing that print on demand.
Well,
Um,
with Drive Through RPG, they go through Lightning Source, and
yeah,
Drive Through RPG offers saddle stitch, or not saddle
yeah.
stitch, excuse me. They use case bound and perfect bound only. Are they offering saddle stitch now?
There were a few things. I believe it was if it, that it was a stitched binding for like a few books on there.
Are you talking about for hardcover?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not stitch binding. What they do is they add what they call a bind stitch to it. It's at the very end of the bind. That it's a sleeve that goes
Oh,
in and they
okay.
spiral. Yeah, it's case bound is basically what it is, but it's an upgrade. Is what you can do. It just looks
Okay.
nicer.
So it's not an actual stitched.
The end is stitched.
Yeah.
It's a special add-on to the case bind machine that
Okay.
when the case bind goes through before you put the case on it, it runs a stitch at the end and ties the paper.
Okay.
It's a nicer look, is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I've seen that in like a few things, and so
Yeah.
I mean, but it's better than than books that I've seen come off print on demand from even 10 years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
Binding has come
yeah.
miles in just the last couple of years.
Oh, I guess, yeah, Matt, uh, they used to offer it and stopped. Okay, and brought it back as a limited test.
Yeah.
So okay,
What they're doing is they're trying to appeal to a higher end customer. Is what they're trying to do.
sure. Yeah, so that's cool. To have a printer and stuff here, printer, publisher, and all of that.
Mhm.
And I know you've got some stuff. You talked about a board game.
Yep.
There's I think an RPG coming, right?
Yep. Stars
You've
and
got
Sales
some
with
other
Polly Kid.
things down
Yep.
the pipe. You've done the gangbusters stuff,
Yep.
which I can't wait to get some of that to the table.
Yep.
And that's going to be fun. And you've got a book, right? And now are you going to be printing the novels in house, or is that
Yeah.
going through?
Yeah.
Because Glenn's
Glenn's
book
book.
now is going through like Amazon. It's print on demand through Amazon.
Amazon stock is what it is.
Oh, Amazon stock. Okay, sorry
Yeah.
if I'm.
Yep.
I don't know all this lingo. Well, all I know is I click the button and in 2 days
Yeah.
it's on my doorstep.
Two kinds of selling through Amazon. You have Amazon KDP self-publishing, and then you have Amazon stock, which you have to send them stock.
You send them stock and then they
Yeah.
sell out of that
Yeah.
until it's out. Yeah. What's the name of the board game? D20.
D20 Delving.
D20.
It's coming out. It's coming out later on this month.
Oh, cool. So you'll be able to order it right off the website.
You'll be able to order it from either our website, Barnes and Noble, or Amazon.com.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. No, we'll have to definitely check that out.
It's a big game. It's a 30-inch wide by 19-inch tall board.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's fun. That's fun. No, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So yeah. You want to tell us about anything else you got coming down the pike or,
Oh, geez. We just got done right before Tim passed. We had just wrapped up the softcover version of Lost Adventures. That's been live for a while. We got Stars and Sales with Paulie Kidd. RP Gamer magazine's coming out the end of this month.
oh yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yep.
RP
Yep.
Gamer Magazine. That
Yep.
sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's got content by a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of different creators. We've got Realms collectible card game coming out in probably late March, early April. We've got Snarkaberry's Adventure, another one from Paulie Kidd, that's coming out in June. And then D20 Delving comes out this month, and then probably late summer we're having the expansion for it. So
That's cool.
and then we got Lair. Lair is a large scale mega dungeon, mega module. And then we have an official licensed product that we're going to be announcing probably here in about 2 weeks, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard talk about that.
Yeah.
And, so I don't want to dig too much because I know you can't talk about it. So
Yeah.
but tell us everything you know now.
It's an old school style game RPG. That's about the best I can say.
Yeah,
So-
no, I understood.
Yeah.
But announcements for that will be coming down.
Yeah, the main company will be announcing it probably. In fact, hopefully, they were supposed to have announced it in December, and they stepped back from it because there was some logistical issues that we're handling because of another person, and then had to do some rewriting of the license to accommodate it, and then so they're telling us now probably mid to late January. It's already the 20th, so we're hitting mid to late. So, but once they pull the trigger on it, then we can go full blown with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. That'll be exciting.
It's gonna be
What,
a busy year.
Yeah. You guys got any other publishing questions or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Jason, you're muted.
Sorry. I kept coughing, so I muted myself and forgot to mute myself. Anyway, I did not see the Kickstarter for Gangbusters. I really want a copy. Can I get it?
There was never a
No
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
There's a pre-order on the website.
Oh,
Sold out.
okay.
Sold out in like 15 minutes, I think,
Of
too.
course it did.
Yep.
So when will it be available for a regular order?
Probably here within about the next week or so. Definitely by the end of January, it'll be back on the website up for sale.
Cool. Roger showed me his copy, and as soon as I saw the cover, I went, "When are we playing?"
Yeah, it's a fun game.
And then I started going through it, and I was like, "When are we
Yeah.
playing this?"
Yep.
Excellent. Great.
Well, that's the hardcover. Yep, that's the limited one. Yep.
Yeah.
Hardcover, and then I got the soft cover here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
of course, all I'm hearing is Edward G. Robinson in my head, the whole time.
Oh, that's another thing I forgot. One thing I can announce: we actually have a license for the Peaky Blinders RPG.
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
nice.
So we're going to be creating that. That's actually going into. It's in design right now, so it'll go into layout probably mid to late February.
Okay.
We'll do some play testing. We'll do 30, 40 play test sessions with it, and then we'll take those play test corrections and put them in.
Is it going to be taking place in Birmingham? I mean, like,
Yep.
are you interacting with the
Classic Peaky Blinders.
Very cool. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And what system is that going to use? Is that a D20 based, or is it going to be
That's
its own thing? Or?
Base / D6 kind of amalgamy. The company who licensed it to us was very picky about it. They did not. They didn't want strictly BX. They did not want strictly 5e. So they said, "Well, can we take this like to Star Wars D6?" I'm like, "Well, we can apply D6 to it. We can do that." So they're like, "Yeah, we want D6." So
as soon as you mentioned D6 Star Wars, Jason was excited for it.
So was Staccato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a mixture of stuff. We're doing a mixture of 5. We're not just an OSR company. I mean, we want to accommodate all kinds of gamers. So we're doing OSR stuff, 5e, BX based stuff. We just want to keep a little bit of everything for a little bit of everybody.
Oh, there's a business tip for you. Just in case, if you wanted to get
Just
in
in
and
case.
swoop it up, make the Babylon 5 RPG. We might know someone that would want to work on it.
He would be qualified.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
definitely qualified.
Yes, he would be.
Maybe overqualified. I don't know. But yeah, so that's cool. No, I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming down the pike and ordering stuff.
Appreciate it.
That'd be really fun. A lot of the stuff that you're talking about, seems really interesting. Like I said, I'm in. Just
Yeah, we had a
send me
major. We had a with our shop being down. We had a major interruption of operations.
Yeah.
Late summer, and at first we weren't sure how insurance was going to go. We weren't sure about nothing because it didn't happen with us. It was next door, but it damaged us because of water, and it was just like, what are we doing? And I'll admit, I mean, we were at the point where it's like, I'm getting ready to step away from this. This is just, my luck is just not hitting, prime numbers here for me. And then everything kind of just melded out and worked out. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
That's good.
but
Yeah. Well, that's good.
then got the convention. God,
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for self abuse. I'll tell you what.
I hear you. Yeah, and obviously, I want to talk about the convention. You and I think, we're both kind of in the similar
Yep.
situation. We're both going into our second year
Year two.
of convention. I think you had a few more people than I did. First, we had just over 200.
Yeah, we had just shy of I think we had pretty close to your amount. I think we had a
Okay.
total of like 250, 248, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yes, you definitely beat us. But I got to start pulling in people off the street and just giving them badges, and let's just get my numbers up, I think. But
We had a lot of walk-ins. I was really surprised, and I was really actually
Yeah.
surprised that we probably would have crested 300, but we had a whole bunch of people that never showed up and picked up their badges. I had a
Wow.
stack of badges that thick, never picked up. We were
Wow.
like,
I think we had maybe 10 people that didn't show up. What was that, Jason?
And these were paid for already? These badges
these were paid for. And they're all weekend passes. I mean, a stack of badges. I think I counted
Wow.
like 42.
Oh,
And
wow.
by day 2,
Wow.
I'm sitting there messaging people, going, "Hey, you bought a badge, And people are like, "Oh, just happy to support. Couldn't make it this weekend. No problem. I'll be there next year." I'm just like,
That's
"Thank you very much."
Yeah.
that's a good point to bring up too. This community has just been fantastic, and with everything, and it's not just with us, and I mean it's with each other and everything else, and it's cool hearing that people, hey, just bought a badge just to support. I'm not actually coming, but just wanted to support you. I mean
Mhm.
that's fantastic.
Well, and the creators also. Eric from Ten
Yeah.
Cars Tavern, Darlene showed up. Merle Rasmussen, the Gygaxes showed up. Rob Conley. I mean, it's just the community that comes in, and we were a 1-year convention, and Darlene's
Yeah.
like, "I'll show up." It's like,
That's
wow.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, and we had a handful of people here that were willing, uh, to show up and come down. It's just fantastic. Greg Gillespie came down.
Yep.
Eric, I mean Eric Tenkar, he's offered to move tables and help out and all
Yep.
of this.
Joe Block.
Joe Block,
Yep.
came down. He's more than happy to come up. We had Bloodworth here. It's just fantastic. All the people and
Yep.
everybody's just wonderful, and we had a great time here. I heard your convention was fantastic.
We had no problems at our convention. In fact,
Yeah.
we had one issue with a guy who had a guide dog, and the dog was growling at people, and
Yeah.
we just had to say, "Hey, listen, you got to put your dog on a leash." That was my only problem all weekend, and I was grateful for it because I was like, "Oh God, hope somebody doesn't get drunk or don't have a fighting couple." You just don't know because you
Yeah.
hear horror stories,
Yeah.
but
Buzzsaw's making a comeback in the next convention. We had Bloodworth ran a Fallout game, and
Mm.
Ducato was in it, and a buddy of mine that I work with and his son was in the game, and his son found like a chainsaw or something. What was it?
No, he played the robot. Well, was it Mr. Handy, the floating
Yeah,
box
Oh,
with all the arms?
the saw mod.
And yeah, and he was pretty quiet. Like he's in a group of adults. The only person he knew was his dad, And then he came out and like I don't remember the first thing we fought, but like he used the buzzsaw thing on that robot and just eviscerated this thing. And then we all were like cheering and then he got into it and he started doing it more and more and more. And Bloodworth was like, I don't really think this game was going to be that graphic, but okay.
You have
it
a
was great.
rotary saw and a robot.
yeah.
We'll be
No, and
playing.
he loved it. He loved it. He's coming back next year. Is definitely going to jump in the Fallout game again. Yeah, Double D showed up and was broadcasting live from the convention.
But think about this, Roger. Think about what that kid did at your convention. Because of your convention, you just hooked a young man probably on a lifelong of gaming because he probably had that experience.
Yeah, and I had put a bunch of the basic fantasy rule books and stuff that I had, along with some dice sets and like a couple fold out maps, into like a basket, and they did the basket raffle, and that kid won the basket.
Ooh, nice.
And so he's running for his classmates and stuff.
That's awesome.
Too, with that, yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's fantastic. It's just
he was on Bloodworth had him on his channel for a live too.
Yeah,
I got him.
It was great.
I got him.
That's
on,
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I think CNY, like I said, we had a little over 200 last year. This year we're looking at probably 300 people.
Good.
Is about what we're looking at. Well, but I mean, we don't. I mean, I talk about CNY all the time. So, what's new at WizardCon?
Oh, geez. Just besides, well, we just kind of listen at people. We sent a survey out to everybody who came at the end of WizardCon, and we just asked them some basic questions. What do you like about it? What didn't you like about it? And how can we improve it? That was pretty much the three questions we asked.
Yeah.
And we just kind of looked at what people liked, what they didn't like. Bars are going to be open later, full menu. Restaurants going to be open later. Moving the vendors outside the gaming area, so it's direct. You got to walk through the vendors to get to the gaming space. We're being more picky about vendors this year, so we don't get the tchotchkes and just the people selling, little bits and pieces. So, our vendor list is a lot better. It's more gaming oriented.
Yeah. So, it's interesting the vendor thing, like, and I've been this way from the beginning, but I've really been adamant about not duplicating vendors. Like, and I don't know how long I can do that. If we grow to a certain size, that might not be possible.
You're going to have a hard time doing that as it gets on.
But yeah, I don't want to try. Like, I'd like to have people that are doing different things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anybody having to compete with each other. And I don't know. I consider like CNY, like, and us three have talked about it, and along with the rest of the group and stuff. And like, I don't want to be, Paige.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have, like, I think he had 800 people or something. Was it last year? I think, or maybe it was first year, 800. And then this year he's got to have 2,000 people at least, 2 tickets, whatever. And I think that's too big for me. I don't want to grow that size.
I use North Texas as my pattern. Yeah. No matter how big we get, how popular we get, we're capping at about 500.
Yeah.
We'll never be above 500, just because I want that intimate feel.
Right.
And that was some advice that Tim Cass gave me before he passed on, because Tim was heavily involved in WizardCon with planning of it and gave me a lot of advice. And like Tim said, Tim goes, Don, keep it small, keep it intimate. So
they broke 3,000. Yeah, that to me, that's I mean, good for him, that, if that he wants to grow and be this huge convention.
Some people like big conventions.
That's fine. I just find it, it's hard to even with all the guests, sometimes it's hard. You got to wait in line. You don't have autograph times,
Mhm.
things like that, which I don't know. It's fine, I guess. But sometimes when you got to wait in line, I remember when we went to GaryCon and everybody that I wanted to talk to or see. I mean, I saw some guests and in the halls, and you're able to stop them and talk to them for a minute. But if you really wanted to get their signature and everything else, you got to wait in line
Yeah.
for sometimes 45 minutes, an hour, just to get a signature or whatever. And I get it, right? There's thousands of people there, and that's like part of the whole thing. But I look at the smaller conventions, and you could just you can go up to like people like Tenkar, and you can
Mhm.
have a 20-minute conversation with the guy.
Yeah.
There's not 45 people behind you waiting, and you only have like a little bit of time. Now I
Mhm.
know that we're not going to attract, well, at least I'm not going to attract big players.
But it depends on. I mean, it depends what you classify as a big player. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if you message Merle Rasmussen, he'll come. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
whole thing. A lot of these,
yeah,
especially the older school celebrities, they are so approachable. They're so amenable to help out a small convention, and just, I mean, and they want very little. They want, like Merle. Merle wants a table, he wants a place to game, and he wants his hotel paid for. As long as he does
yeah,
that, he'll drive. He'll drive for you.
yeah, yeah.
And they're all so nice
Man,
of
if
people.
he'll run top secret for me, I'll be happy to pay for his
And,
hotel room.
and I'll tell you what, he will. Merle will be happy to run top secret, and he'll break out the
Yeah.
Legos for it too, because he uses Legos to play his game.
Excellent.
He
Yeah,
makes a
so
little
Paul's
Lego city.
Tankar ain't Larry Elmore. So yeah,
And
I mean there are
that's what
guys.
I was going to say. I gave you
Yeah,
my look. I agree that some of the lines at Gary Con were long, but I'm waiting to talk to Larry Elmore. I'm waiting to talk to
sure.
Jeff Easley, and it is no disrespect to guys like Tenkar or Double D or Bloodworth or any of those guys, but let's be honest, we are small time YouTubers.
Mhm.
Even Tenkar, 3 or 5,000 subscribers, man, that's nothing. And I'm saying this as a guy that is a panel guest on a 130 subscriber YouTube channel. If I go to GaryCon and I have to wait 45 minutes to talk to Tenkar, I'm going to be like, I've got other things to do with my time.
But the thing is,
The
I
first
think that. Go ahead.
the
No, you're
first time
fine.
I went to GaryCon and I went to see Jeff Easley, I went to GaryCon specifically to meet Jeff Easley. And I waited maybe half an hour to see him. And I was fortunate in that there was no one in line behind me. So I stood there talking to Jeff Easley, trying not to cry my eyes out, true story, because I was so overwhelmed at finally meeting my childhood hero.
Mhm.
And I sat there and talked to that guy for 20 minutes, and he nodded and smiled and interacted with me for 20 minutes. It was worth the wait.
Mhm.
And and yeah, there you go, Edgelord, you nailed it. But when you go to a smaller con, you're looking for different things. I really don't feel like that they can be compared that way. If Jeff Easley walked into CNY Con, I would lose my shit because Jeff Easley has entered the room, or Larry Elmore,
Oh,
or Clint Hall, or any of those
absolutely. I mean,
greats.
definitely. But also the nice thing about people like Joe Block and Eric Tenkar and such is like I'll give you an example with WizardCon. We have an auction scheduled. At the last minute, my auctioneer said I can't come,
Mhm.
and I had like an auction starting in an hour. Eric stepped right up, and Eric's
Yep.
like, you know what, I'll run it. And
Yep.
you know, you know, Eric's a YouTuber with like 9,400 subs right now, and yeah, he's a smaller YouTuber and such, but and yeah, he's not Jeff Easley, definitely. And like I'm going to EggCon, and I'm definitely going to EggCon because Easley's going to be there, and there's names that
Sure.
I want to get stuff signed with, but I'm
Yeah.
also going to be a vendor and special guest. But I'm definitely making it to EggCon because of those names.
Yeah.
But what's nice about people like Tenkar or Joe Block and the smaller YouTubers like that is they'll step up if needed, and they'll help out. They'll give a
Absolutely.
hand, and
Yep.
you know that's what's
They're more
really
like a member of the family at this
absolutely.
level. And that's why and I want to emphasize again. I mean, no disrespect to those guys. I have
Oh, yeah.
nothing but respect for them. And we've had we've had them on the on the show. We've talked to them at the cons. They are great guys, and I am so happy that they exist and that they are the way they are. I just feel it's different. Meeting at
Jeff Easley's
TSR
Jeff
alone
Easley.
versus
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I
And
really,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I waited in line to see, Earl Otis. That was my
Yeah.
he's like
That was
my dream celebrity, right, to meet.
Yep.
And but like there's no chance of him showing up to CNY,
Right.
So
and this will be a very short segue. I was in line with Roger when he saw Errol Otis, and his reaction to Errol Otis was mirrored my Jeff Easley.
Yeah.
I stood to the side because I didn't want to distract him. I stood to the side and I just watched Roger talk to Errol Otis, and I was like, I know that look. It was great.
See, I have to ask Roger a question. You just made a definitive statement. You said there's no way Errol Otis come to your con. Have you asked him?
No,
I have somebody working on it.
Go to Facebook, message him. How do you think I got Darlene and such?
Yeah.
Darlene's another wonderful person. She
I
was
have somebody
so cool
else
when I
that
met her.
knows him that is supposed to message him.
Roger, don't wait for that person.
I'm going to lecture you.
Get on Facebook and message him. I'm serious, dude. I'm saying this is a guy that worked CNY with you and knows you.
Yeah.
Message Errol Otis. Ask him if he would be willing to attend. Ask him what's your fee? What would you like?
That's how I got Darlene. That's how I got all my special guests. I reached out on Facebook, and they're just so approachable.
Yeah, a lot of them. I don't. Yeah, no. Most of the people are. Sometimes, I feel there's tears right of that thing. And so, but yeah.
Let me put this in perspective for you, there, sir. You at CNY, you were standing at the edge, kind of out by the door, and I walked up to you and I looked to you and I was rocking back and forth and smiling because I was so happy with the way it was going. And you looked at me. Do you remember what you said?
Is this when I said that even if I lose $2,000 every year, I'm still going to do this?
Nope. You looked at me and said, I did this. And I said, yes, you did. You did that.
Mm-hmm.
Look what you pulled off, man.
Yeah.
Fucking message Errol Otis and ask him if he'll come. The worst that's going to happen is he says, no, I can't, or I'm busy, or doesn't respond. But you did put it out there.
Yeah. All right.
Is it on the list now? You're writing it down?
I'm writing it down.
To-do list.
Watch this. Roger's going to get a message every other day from me. Hey, did you message Errol Otis yet?
Do it yet? Do it yet?
But seriously, I have to say, I was intimidated approaching Darlene. I was intimidated about approaching Merle Rasmussen and such. Mm-hmm. And I approached a couple of people and they declined. But, the worst they can do is say no.
Yep.
Okay,
thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And some say I'm busy. Maybe get with me next year. It's our job as I think it's our job as convention organizers to shill our convention. And part of it is to provide our convention guests the best experience they can. And if sending a Facebook message and offering a hotel and a table is going to get someone to come, that's a minimal price for the enjoyment it gives your convention or your convention goers, I think.
Matt, like your pep talk, Jason.
Excellent. I try to do what I can.
You did very well. But it's true. I mean, I had that same thing. Awesome. You look at that full room and you're just like, my convention did this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll reach out. I'll see if I can. I'll message him. It's just it's I don't know. He's big.
Heck, I remember after the convention, it was that Sunday. Me and my wife got in the car. We sat down. And I said, I cannot believe we just did this shit. Yeah. It's like I was just mind blown that it was over, and we had no problems, no unhappy people.
Yeah,
everybody thanking us and shaking our hands, saying, "Can't wait till next year." And I was just like, This is the opposite. I'm having these nightmare scenarios going. We're going to have like an empty room. People are going to be
Oh my God.
complaining. It's like
I was a wreck, Don.
Yeah.
I was so much of a wreck that we set up. SARCon was Saturday, Sunday, and I think it was Friday night. Like we did all the setup, and these guys were going out. My buddies and stuff. They're going out to dinner, and they're like, "You should come. You should come up." And I was like, "I can't leave this room. I can't leave the building. Like just in
Roger, let me
case."
take you to dinner.
do it.
No, I can't go. Okay, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go eat. You have a good night.
I'm like, I can't leave. I just can't. I don't feel comfortable leaving because I'm like, somebody might need me.
Now, are you doing a 3-day con this time, or just solo?
We're doing 3. We're gonna do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday is gonna be it's my daughter. Yeah, he was definitely a wreck. Can confirm. Yeah. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday we're doing we're gonna do one game session, and then we're gonna do a movie meet and greet
Nice.
kind of thing. We're gonna play the OG Conan the Barbarian.
Nice.
And we're going to have the lights off on that half of the room, where the projector is. And then the other side of the room, we'll leave the lights on so people can hang out and talk and, just chat with everybody and, just have a good time hanging out. And we're going to have a popcorn machine and going to hand out popcorn for free.
Why not? You got a popcorn machine.
And,
Yeah.
we're going to do that. I don't want to charge anybody $5 a bag for popcorn. I want to just, here it is. And that was something that, that was big for me. And I'm pretty sure yours is the same way, but like, I never wanted people to feel like they had to pay to play or like pay.
Oh,
Besides
absolutely.
get the badge, you buy your badge and everything, everything's free.
I actually lost a couple people wanted their refunds on their tickets because they signed up to be DMs, and they said I charge $25 a person. I'm like, no, you don't. Not at my convention.
Yeah.
$25 to sit down at the guy's table.
One guy wanted $25 a head to play, and that was one guy. Then we had a vendor who wanted to run Magic tournaments, and I said, well, hold on, we mean Magic tournaments. He's like, well, we charge $35, and I said no. And he was the one who brought the guide dog. That was the only negative experience that we had. And at the end, he says, I'm not coming back next year because you wouldn't let me charge. And I'm like,
peace.
Yeah.
So,
I this could be like a whole hour-long discussion here, but I understand that some people need medical, dogs that can detect when you're like low blood sugar
Sure.
or whatever, or for, they're partially blind to like get you walking around and stuff. And I even seen some of this at the convention this weekend, and I've seen it at other conventions. I've seen it at other gatherings out in public. People have like a Chihuahua that they're carrying around. And,
it's not
it's got the
they call it
service,
emotional
it's got the
support
vest,
animal.
and it says service animal on the thing. And now here in New York, you can't ask. You can only ask what it can do. You can't ask for its paperwork or anything.
See, in Michigan, we can ask to see their
for the
certification.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
In New York, that's unlawful. You can only ask what the dog can do. That's it. You can't ask if it's for its certification.
Scott Mulder, that's right. And by the way, that guy right there, Scott Mulder, was an absolute freaking rock star at my convention. He helped out with that con, and I can't talk enough about Scott. Scott was absolutely awesome at that convention.
Yeah.
You
No, that's fantastic. And
but-
I've had a lot of help too. Jason helped out, and my buddy Joe, my buddy Andrew, like they all jumped in, and like we said before, the community and people that want to get involved, everybody's fantastic.
But the thing about service animals is interesting because a true service animal will stay by its owner. And, true service animal will not approach other people and sniff the person. It doesn't growl at people.
Right.
This guy's dog was wandering all through the convention and growling at people. The Gygaxes, they brought their little small dog. It's not a service dog. It's just a pet, but the hotel allowed it. And their dog was very well behaved. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I understand people need service animals. I get it through diabetics. Maybe it is an emotional support animal,
Sure.
but
I wouldn't be wandering the convention hall if it was a
yeah.
service animal.
Well, it's a liability for us because
Yeah.
like people are going things growling at me at my table, and I'm like, and this was a big dog. This is like a Labrador Retriever size dog. This wasn't just a little
Yeah.
yelper. And it's like
Yeah.
that thing bites somebody, then our insurance is definitely going to be hit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had heard that you had some issues with that, and
Mhm.
that sucks. And so far we haven't had any issues, with that. So, and I hope we don't.
But
But
with a 3-day convention running 14 hours a day, I'll take it.
yeah,
If
right.
that's the
Sure.
worst I run into, I'll
Sure.
take it.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I get it. And I wish that we had more strict, things, here, but, whatever, hopefully, fingers crossed, and that's that, I guess. But, yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the service animal thing because I will go on at length about that. But my overall problem with that sort of thing is, in my experience, it's so often if you give a person an inch, they will take a mile,
Yes.
and then 10 miles, and then it's an infection that won't leave.
Yeah.
And so, just as long as we're following the law and they're following the law, there's really not a lot that can be said about it.
That's right.
If one side is not, then you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. And as a
Yeah.
convention organizer, sometimes, and like I said, I'm lucky, my first one, sooner or later, like, Bad Mike said, sooner or later, you're going to have to ask somebody to leave. It's
Absolutely.
coming. Bad Mike had to do it. From what I understand, he had to do it a couple of years ago. And, at the end of the day, that's what goes along just being a convention organizer. It's more, the sum is more important than the one when you're dealing with the
Absolutely.
entire convention.
Sure. Vince, Jason's going to, vet all of our, alleged service animals. So you'll have to, show him whatever trick that the service crocodile can perform.
It ticks and talks.
There you go. Yeah. It's game related. So yeah, conventions, it's interesting. After going like this weekend, I think I really only want to do like one big convention a year,
Mhm.
over 1,000 people type of thing. I think I'm to that point. I've done PAX Unplugged a handful of times, and, Paige, like I said, is starting to get big. Jason and I were talking about doing Origins, at some point.
Oh,
And
bless your hearts.
yeah,
Well,
just
really,
like a once,
or it's
just
just
do
a
it once.
bucket list item. That
Yep.
yes, just do it once.
Yeah.
And really, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I used to have Gen Con on my list, but like, man, I don't know. Just looking at it every year, it's like, it was at like 70,000 people or something.
Stand in
last
line for
year.
like 3 to 5 hours
Oh
Yeah.
my
to get
God.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I
and it's
did.
not
I
even,
did Gen Con 51, and I can honestly say that I did not have a good time. That was the first time I ever met Larry Elmore, and that's the only thing that I can honestly say I even remember about Gen Con 51. The rest was too big, too loud, too crowded, too obnoxious. So, but I
Yeah.
did get
Yeah.
to meet Larry Elmore, and that was pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Our
mean,
biggest one is TotalCon this year.
how big is TotalCon?
TotalCon, I think, is like 1,200 people, 1,300
Oh, okay.
people.
Okay.
And
That's
but
bigger
the
than
way
I thought.
the way they do it, it's really sprawled out, so you don't feel so on you.
Okay.
And I like TotalCon. Me and my
Yeah.
wife enjoyed it a lot last year. So
And is that the one that's in Massachusetts?
yeah. Mhm.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's next month or something, isn't it?
Yep,
Coming
that's
up?
next month. Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't realize they were that big.
Yeah, they're about I think they're about 1,200 people. I may be wrong.
Yeah.
But they're
Wow.
pretty good size.
Wow. Yeah.
John, when
Oh,
is
man.
WizardCon?
April 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Jason
right.
can't go.
That's
because
right.
Jason's
That's
gonna be
why. I'm
Phoenix.
going to be in Wales.
busy.
I'm going to be in
He's gonna
Wales.
be
Oh,
busy
Wales,
in
UK?
Wales.
Yeah.
Like Wales in the UK.
Yeah.
Wales. in the
I
UK.
grew up in Leeds, right outside of Leeds.
No, no kidding. Okay, that's awesome. All right.
Yeah, my
I
dad
went
worked
to.
for Fields.
That's super cool. I
Yeah.
don't want to derail the show. Sorry, I'm really
No.
trying hard, man.
No,
But we will speak again.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
He's going out. You mind if you want to tell him or what you're going
No.
out for?
Help yourself. Yeah.
It's he's going out to do a Mini Cooper ride, I guess tour or whatever through.
This one is not Mini Coopers. The Switzerland tour was Mini Coopers.
Oh,
This
it's
is
not
Land
Mini
Rovers.
Land
Nice.
Rovers.
This
Land
this one
Rovers
is
are
Land
popular in
Rovers.
the UK. Yep.
But part of what I'm doing is a 1-day rally drivers course.
Very
a
cool.
professional,
Oh, that's
a
right.
professional rally course.
My
I'm
my
so freaking
friend
excited
Adam
about
Halford
this,
would get along with you.
Awesome. I love to drive fast. That's why I have a Mini Cooper, so I can tear up corners. So when I signed up for the Wales course, and that the guy that's running it is from Wales, and he and I hit it off really well. He was like, Jason, I've seen the way you drive. You know, we offer a rally course. And I was like,
Yeah.
where do I sign up? So yeah, I'm super excited about that. It's gonna be so awesome.
Wales is beautiful also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks incredible. So
Yeah, it is. It
super
really,
excited.
really is. It's everything in the pictures.
Excellent. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we go to that town that has the longest word in it's like the longest word in the not really English language
Oh,
that
yeah.
no one can pronounce. It's like 30 consonants
Except
all in a
for
row.
that,
Yeah.
except for that one weatherman.
Yes. So
Is that one
I would
weather-
like to get a photo of that sign. I think that'd be
The
cool.
sign. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
End of my Wales trip. We
No,
can
it's cool.
talk about it later. We
No,
only
it's-
have
it's
Don
cool.
for another half an hour, so we
Um,
really got to keep it tight.
No problem.
Yeah. Gen Con, 73,000 last year. Getting it is no issue as
Crazy.
long as you have the mail your badge. So, and then Paul even says, never do will call. That was one thing that killed me about PAX Unplugged is since COVID, they stopped mailing you the badges. It used to be mandatory. They used to pay like an extra $20 to mail the badges. And then they made it so that you have to go to will call to pick up the badges. Now, the last year we went, which was 2 years ago, I think we went on like, they had like hours on like Wednesday night or something. And we went at like 7:00 at night or something after we got there. And we were able to get our badges and it was pretty easy. But then getting into the convention, I remember even waiting in line, and we kind of shortcut through half of it because
You're
we
welcome.
cut through the hotel, but still waiting in line because you got to go through the metal detectors and everything. I mean, we probably waited in line 45 minutes.
Yep.
I mean, maybe it was longer than that. I know we just hung out and talked the whole time, but that's a pain in the ass. And then there's, you're in line and there's 20,000 people at the same time that are all funneling into the vendor hall trying to like go. So we end up going, to the far end, instead of going right there because you can't look at anything and then try and make your way back. But I mean, I go to those conventions to like look at all the vendor stuff and buy things. I go to smaller conventions like, CNY or, WizardCon, things like that to actually game, to game and
Yeah,
have
I
fun.
heard at Gen Con last year, it was literally in the vendor areas. It was elbow, shoulder to shoulder, and you were literally being pushed along. You couldn't stop
Yeah.
really too much.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't enjoy that.
And that's
No.
terrible. I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound like any fun for, 3 days. And, so that's why I think like the smaller conventions are where it's at. You get the kind of, family feel and, and that's why I'm driving 11 hours to go to WizardCon.
It's
Like-
not that bad a drive, Roger. It's April, okay? End of April.
No, it's fine. Right. Yeah. April. Luckily it's April and not,
Oh, we chose it
January,
on
February,
purpose.
whatever, Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
Absolutely.
not now. You don't want to go home.
Yeah, and I mentioned that earlier. Like we were talking about the weather on you and Tenkar and stuff. We're talking about the weather, and I mentioned that it's 12 degrees out here now, and like this is why I chose June for upstate New York to have a convention, because I know how it gets, and I didn't want to have one, February, and then risk, there's a blizzard and nobody can show up, and it's a thing.
That was a big thing about our convention, what we thought about the timing, because, unfortunately with us, no matter what time of year you go in our area, the prices never change. So you don't get a better deal at a certain time of year.
Sure.
But we were just like, how do we figure out what month? March is people go to GaryCon. June and July is really tough because of, you got EggCon and you got, North Texas and such.
Yeah.
And we're a real small con. And then we did mid-April, and we got lucky because like 6 months before our convention was supposed to start, we got called in by the event coordinator. He's like, "Are you aware that that's Easter Sunday, your weekend?" And I was like, "Holy crap, I didn't realize that." So we bumped it to the end. And that's just where we stuck. We're like, what? Easter's never the last weekend in April. So we'll just stick with the last weekend, and that's what our convention is.
Yeah. And so I'm a week after North Texas and a week before Origins.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it ends up. And I don't know. I think in hindsight, I'd probably change it. I have no idea what date I would move to, because July's a mess. It's hard, to do anything in July. People are outside, for the 4th, and you don't want to, correspond with that. And then the end of the month is Gen Con. And I even talked to Mike about this, like being a week after, North Texas. We didn't think it would be a big effect, on either convention. And for the most part, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some people I can't get as guests because they go to North Texas.
Yeah.
And they can't go out for 2 weeks. Which is fine. Like, and like, I don't want to step on Mike's toes. And we've been friendly about it, obviously. And we're across the country from each other. So it's, so there's not like a huge overlap there. But fall and upstate would be so cool. Yeah, the problem in fall though is I don't know. Sometimes the weather can turn.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
but
Michigan.
I mean, I considered. Yeah.
We have Octobers where it's absolutely gorgeous, sunny, 40s, and then last October here in Michigan, it was ice cold. We got snow, we got rain. It was crappy weather. It's just like
same here.
Yeah. Wow. So what? So you're at the end of April. So it's going to be the weather will be gorgeous out there.
Yeah, it's good weather.
Well, for me it'd be nice. It'd be 50s. 50s is perfect
for
me. But Death Angel is looking. He says so he's trying to make one in he's September and November. He's talking about Tennessee. Yeah.
Tennessee. Yeah, he's got good weather though in that time of year though.
October in Tennessee is beautiful. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's a great time to go.
That's another haul though. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see where in Tennessee is going to be and see how long the drive that's going to be. So what do you got planned for fun stuff? Like, I know you're going to do gaming, obviously we're gaming. We're going to have the guests, you're going to have the props and stuff.
We're going to have an auction.
The auction. Yep.
We're going to, Jim Kinchen's coming up. He does Gen Con's auction, North Texas's auction. So he's coming to handle our auction. We're just not planning something special for Tim Kask, memory of Tim Kask. Because special guests doing games. We've got some displays, like we have a gigantic wall we're going to put up, which is the Tomb of Horrors wall with the head. People can get pictures with and have fun.
People can we go through the head? Is it actually going to be an opening, or
you're going to be able to put your hand in there? It's just a head about this big.
Oh, okay. So I can't like stick my head in there.
No, not big enough for the head. You better put a hand in it though.
Yeah. Right.
So just things like that. We're going to have mini painting contest. We're going to be doing some some free contests revolving around gaming where people can win prizes, things like that.
Cool. We did. It was way more popular than I expected it to be. We did like I called it a scavenger hunt thing.
I heard about it.
It really wasn't a scavenger hunt. It was just I had the sheet of paper and all the vendors and the guests and me had a stamper, And then all you had to do is you get a picture with the guest, get a picture with the vendor, whatever, find the thing at the vendor, and then they would stamp your paper, and then you fill out the paper, and that would give you 10 basket raffle tickets. And we put
Nice.
together a bunch of baskets with RPG
Yeah.
stuff. And, I wanted to do that because that was part of the thing where, I said, okay, we're going to sell basket raffle tickets, but I really wanted a way for people to get basket raffle tickets without having to pay for them, because some families show up and it's a family of 4, and it's and they're paying, they got to buy 4 tickets, and they commit, and then they can't afford basket raffle tickets or whatever to have fun. So I figured this would be fun for the kids to do, and then they can get put the tickets in the basket and that, and it'd be fun. And man, people loved it. It was fantastic. So we're going to do that again this year. And I'm going to add a little bit to it. And, I put on there that they had to get a picture with me in order to get my stamp. So that, that placated my ego, things like that. But we didn't do a costume contest or cosplay or anything like that. You're not doing any of that either?
No, we're nothing formal. I mean, last year we had, I think, 3 guys dressed up as wizards.
Okay.
And, I don't care if people dress up. If they want to dress up and have fun, great, but we're not going to do anything specific cosplay this year where we're doing contests or anything.
Yeah. I think we had a group of like 4 people that kind of dressed up. I don't know if they dressed up or if they just look like that normally, but
that was one of the things that I didn't like about Gen Con. I have no problem with cosplay. You dress however you want to dress. There was a woman that was dressed as Harley Quinn, of course, but she weighed roughly 500 pounds, and bits of her were spilling out of her attire. And, but then the flip side of that, there was a young woman that was dressed as Wonder Woman, and she was smoking hot. But, lady, I appreciate it. There's children here. There are, as Roger said, there are families here. And those people don't seem to understand that not everyone wants to expose their children to other people's private areas. And I'm not a prude. Like I said, it doesn't bother me. But, man, I want this kid. If it were my son or my daughter that were with me and that person walked by, as a father, I would be like, well, we're not coming back next year because I'm not going to a burlesque show with my
but I think that's the convention's fault because, like with us,
totally
if
agree.
you go to our website, we actually have an attire policy.
Yeah.
And we spell it out because, I've been to conventions where I've looked and I've said, and I'm no prude by far, but I'm like, holy crap, dude or lady, you are like, we have a policy that men who, if you're going to cosplay and you got tights on, wear a cup.
That's I don't need to see your twig in 2 bits, dude. I'm not interested.
That's right. And it's the same thing with women. I mean, I'm no prude by far. I have a wife. I have 4 daughters, but on the same token, we're a family event. And, I want people to be able to come, bring their kids, feel comfortable bringing their children. It's a game convention, guys. We're not doing, burlesque contest here.
Yep.
And if that turns somebody off and they say, I'm not coming to your convention, well, I guess you're not coming to my convention. I mean, maybe we're just not fit for you.
Yeah.
I'm with Paul on this one. Nothing like that pancake batter pouring out of the top of a corset.
Yeah.
Now, the woman playing Wonder Woman, aside from the fact that she was very attractive, I will say this, her outfit was amazing. I asked her about it. It was handmade, absolutely incredible. So props to you for putting that kind of effort into it. But just, you're not alone out here. Yeah. Anyway, I've probably said too much.
No, you're not. You're actually making a really good point with small conventions and even large conventions, because, yeah, exactly.
I want to see it, Matt. I want to see it. Make it happen. I'll give you some extra socks if you need them.
Yeah. But no, it's just, it's one of the things you have to deal with at the convention. That's why we have very well written policies.
Mhm.
That way, if
Yeah.
I have to enforce the policy, there's no ambiguity.
Yeah.
Because I
Right.
can just yank out,
Right.
I can pull the policy up on my phone and point it out right there. There you are. And like I said, I know sooner or later I'm gonna have to address something. I just hope it's a couple of years down the road, where we, can get
Yeah.
because I want people to
I
have a good time.
I don't have a dress code yet, but I probably should put something on
You
there
really
that
should.
if somebody's gonna dress up or
Yeah.
cosplay, that
And
it
you
has
are
to
free to
be
look at mine. And
appropriate.
if you want to use
And
mine as a template, knock yourself out. I
yeah,
mean, if you want to change it up, copy anything that you want, modify anything you want. It's all more power to you. Because
yeah,
I
I
spelled it
appreciate
out.
it.
Because, like I said, I've been to Gen Con and I've been to Origins and other conventions where I've looked and went, "Oh, wow, lady," or "Wow, dude, you really are." And I think sometimes they know it. They're
Absolutely.
being very
Yeah.
conscious
Yeah.
about it, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so some people, I don't know. I guess it's they want the attention or something, or that that's what they're.
Sure.
Well,
Um,
the thing about it, Roger, is this: is if they want the attention, and you got a good dress policy, you can give it to them. Not in the way they want, but you just say,
yeah,
"Hey, listen,"
yeah, right. Um, yeah. So that's yeah, that's going to be a good time. Like I said, I'm driving out. I'm dreading the 11-hour drive. The wife is going to drive some of it. She likes driving, so it's not going to be that bad. It's not terrible. I just usually at like 5-6 hours. That's where I like hit my limit.
Mm.
So I'll be miserable for a few hours, but
See, long drives don't bug me. Matter of fact, last January, me and my wife drove out a full size Han Solo and Carbonite out to Connecticut.
Awesome.
wow,
Dropped
Oh,
it off,
wow. That's awesome.
and then swung around and stopped at Air 10 Cars, hung out with him and his wife, had dinner for the day, and drove back. I don't mind driving at all.
full size Han and Carbonite. Wow,
Mhm.
that's something that you built.
Yeah, I make a lot of them.
Wow. And you have a mold or something for that, or
No, I have a supplier for the fiberglass Han Solos. And
oh,
then there's companies that make the pattern kits. They're all CNC cut out, and we just assemble them. Put the lights in them, put all the panels on them, all the little greebles and lights and carbonite
That's
and all that.
awesome.
wow. I feel like I want to make a frozen and Carbonite Roger to put on display at the convention. I think that'd be cool on the door.
If you were like this, I
Yeah.
would stick a hot dog in your mouth.
Mm.
I mean, that would happen at the con. Every time you walk by, there would be something else stuffed in Carbonite Roger's mouth.
Yeah, but that's fine though. That's fun. That's fun.
Sure.
Be like Adam
We can have a
Savage, where he
contest.
did a Adam Savage and Carbonite from Tested.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Oh man, no, that'd be fun. It'd be a blast. So, well, Don, if you want to do a Roger and Carbonite, let me
Get a
know.
mold of you. Get a mold of your face.
Let me know. M. Mellon wants to know how the anti-gravity levitation gizmo works. I assume on the Carbonite.
You get it two ways. You can hang it on your wall or put it on a base.
Yeah, there you go. Hot dog Xander, yeah. See, no, that'd be a fun time. That'd be great. I kind of want to do that now. 3D model of me. Who wants to make that mold?
I think your beard would
It's
have
a
an
lot
issue
of
with the
resin.
silicone.
Beard. I'll have to transplant that onto the model. No, that'd be interesting. Yeah. So this I wanted to ask you before, and I know it got mentioned. The RP Gamer magazine.
Mhm.
That's going to be a monthly,
Quarterly.
quarterly, or quarterly.
Yeah.
And how big is that? Is that like a
It's about
25-page magazine? Or?
just shy under 90 pages.
Under 90 pages. Okay.
90.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
90. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. So that's like a book.
Well, the first one's going to be probably the biggest one of them all because we had so many people step forward. I mean, we had Scott Legault step forward, DM Bloodworth, Air 10 Car. We got we got Tim Kask's final interview in there. Jim Wampler donated comics to it. Just a
Cool.
whole bunch of people from the community stepped up and donated articles. I mean, we got everything from articles on AI in gaming to 3D modeling to OSR gaming, 5e gaming, D6 gaming, you name it. And interesting people we interviewed. We got Merle Rasmussen, we got Tim Kask, Venture Satana sat down for an interview of all people.
Oh, wow.
Very surprising interview Avenger will be. So just a lot of really good, solid gaming content.
Is this going to be a subscription thing? Do we pre-order this off the website?
You're going to be able to do one of two ways. You can buy it by issue, or you can get a little bit cheaper if you do a subscription. And the subscription model is going to be you're going to get both the physical booklet, magazine, and also a PDF.
Is it available on your website now?
No, we're not going to do it until we're ready to ship.
Oh, okay.
Yep. This is the problem. We did a pre-sale with Gangbusters, and then we had the issue with our shop, and we had an interruption in being able to deliver on time. And although people have been great in the general community, there's been several people that have not been so great because they're a little bit upset. And it's like, you try to be honest with people and say, this is the issue, then get called a liar. And I was just like, I'm just going to step back, and when it's ready, it's going to be sold. And that's going to be our format. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I back a lot of Kickstarters. I have a problem with, Kickstarters, and, you could tell, like, when there's stuff that's out there and, you're waiting for it.
Mhm.
Like, I don't care if the stuff is late because, it's under development and you're making it better.
Mhm.
Like, I want the best possible, like, end product. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, once you get to 99%, it's like, ship the damn thing, but
Mhm.
like, but I understand, okay, things taking longer or whatever, and it's frustrating, but I mean, I want a good product at the end of it, and like, but I mean, sometimes you get it, it's the other way around where it's just, people are slow rolling and things like that. And I'm
Well,
not,
well, that's just it.
happens.
And also, when you do a Kickstarter, keep your people relatively informed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
And it's easy when you're running a Kickstarter and you're running late to forget because you're so tied up in stuff sometimes. The issue that I have was and just explain, and that's what we try to do at Gangbusters. You saw it. We try to keep people informed and updated, and
Yeah.
I get it. Different personalities, different people. I understand, but I have a tolerance level, and I don't mind you saying I'm upset that you're running late. But when you start using terms like thief and scammer towards me, you kind of flip a switch in me, and you lose my customer service down, and you meet asshole down. And some people say, well, you shouldn't be like that because you own a game company. And I'm like, no, I'm if I make a post and I say it's delayed because of A, B, and C, it's delayed because of A, B, and C. I got, one person with Gangbusters accused me of vacationing on the money. And I'm like, you don't know what the margins in gaming evidently are.
Yeah.
So, but it's part of it's just part of the game, of publishing. It's personalities.
Sure. Yeah, no, and I'm looking forward to see the rest of the Gangbuster stuff, and you see that stuff in
It's
print and all
awesome.
that. I think it's cool stuff. And Mark is running, he's running games.
Mark's running
At,
Gangbusters. Glenn Hallstrom's running Ghostbusters.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Is Glenn just running the charity Ghostbusters game?
He's running the charity Ghostbusters game. He's also running a bunch of public stuff. He's running.
Okay.
So,
All right.
we tried to set up the charity games because we were going to be donating the money to a different aspect, but instead now we're going to be donating it to the local community college. All the proceeds from the convention and also through the special games, they're going to go to a thing for Tim Kask in Tim Kask's name, so people can kids can get Adobe certified. in Photoshop and InDesign.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
right.
that's cool.
Yeah, you were mentioning that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And that helps towards like an art like degree or art program
Well,
type of thing, or
InDesign offers certifications to become what they call ACE, which is
oh,
Adobe
because
Certified
InDesign
Expert.
does you can do books and stuff, right?
Yeah. So, a certification costs between 175 and 250 bucks, depending on what you take. And so, what we're doing is we're working with the local community college to get kids in the graphic design program to get Adobe certified. So, when they graduate, they're better able to probably look for work in the graphic design field.
Yeah, I'm poor. I use GIMP and Google Docs.
If it works, it works. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah. No, that's very cool
Yeah.
to do that to get people certified and that stuff. Um, that's really fun. Yeah, I saw those games and I'd really love to get in on them, but the I think they're a little over my budget once I factor in traveling out there and everything else. Um, but no, really cool games. I thought about getting into Glenn's Ghostbusters game.
Yeah, they're really cool. They're
We'll see.
What's nice is you're one on one with the GM. We feed you. We have drinks and food in there for people, and it's just
That's
4 or
cool.
5 hours. Like last year, we didn't. We were at Tim Cask's last convention he went to, and he did a couple of special games like that, and people had a blast.
That's cool. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I really like that idea, and I kind of shied away from doing that, from doing like paid games. Um, I don't know, and I'm not saying you're in the wrong for doing it.
Mhm.
But it was just one of those things for me. Like I really wanted to just have everybody be on like the same level,
Oh, I
and
get
like
it.
I think so. Some of that was Jason and I going to GaryCon, and you can really see the lines of like who paid for the more expensive tickets,
Mhm.
because you get to game in certain rooms with certain people and things, and you can
Well,
really see that.
doesn't Gary Con have like a $5,000 a head game in the upper suites area?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we
yeah,
had we had a couple that showed up with Gygax jerseys on, and you could tell she was nice, but she was not pleased with WizardCon because she was a Gary Con gal, and she told me
yeah,
flat to my face, "This is not Gary Con." I'm like,
yeah.
"No shit."
No shit, lady.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, no
you're
kidding.
well. Thanks.
Yep. But I get it. But see what we did? We did the charity games because we wanted something to do for charity. We
Yeah.
weren't
No, and
pocketing the
that's
money.
awesome.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
wanted to do something for the local children's hospital. So
That's a good.
Um,
I mean, that's a good reason to do them. Like
Yeah.
just doing it to make a buck.
Yeah.
You're doing it to like, hey, I can
Yeah.
support
And
the
Right.
hospital.
we were originally going to go ahead and do something similar, but when Tim got sick unexpectedly right for Thanksgiving, and how close I was to Tim and such, I thought, you know what? And when he passed away, I was like, we're going to switch gears here. We're going to do something for Tim, and Cheryl, his wife, and such, because his wife is an absolute darling, and I can't even imagine what she's going through with what's going on now. But so we just kind of shifted gears, and I thought, what can I do for Tim? And I thought, you know what? He was always really anally retentive with me about editing and graphic design. I mean, I don't know how many lectures I got from that man. This design sucks. Go on video with me, Don. I'm like, okay, hold on, Tim. Don, move that over there, and I'm over moving around while Tim's on video with me. So I'm like, Adobe certifications. That's right up Tim's alley. So, trying to do something positive for Tim. In his
That's
name.
cool.
Yeah.
So you've got the website. I know there was some issues there, I think, or something, but
No, it just took forever to get it going because
yeah.
I refused to use tabletop events.
Yeah, no, I listen. I'm
Roger knows that.
tabletop events. I'm still using tabletop events because that's all there is.
Yep.
Someone keeps promising that they're going to have an alternative.
Yep. We're actually done with the alternative. We're fully done with it. What we're doing is we're in beta testing now on it. And I didn't want to put it out unless I knew because the last thing I want is someone to sign up for it and then they have issues.
Yeah, problems and stuff. And you're trying to work on their issues and your stuff. And
Yep. So we have actually it's going to be a website that's coming up probably sometime in May or June, probably June, and it's going to be basically it's so easy to operate and do a convention, and we don't take a percentage of your sales. We charge we
It's just
give
a
you
flat
an
fee, you said,
option. It's a flat fee based on how many people you want to cap at. Either that, if you don't want to choose that option, you can go ahead and choose a per ticket. It's up to you. So, and
Yeah.
people are going to pay probably about half the price that they do at tabletop events with us.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out. You and I have spoken about the wonders of tabletop events.
Yeah, like on Saturday when I had to go rush home, I live about 20 miles from Kalamazoo. I rushed home because a couple of badges didn't get printed, and I couldn't log in as I wasn't authorized.
My God. I had the I think you replied to the Facebook post, but I had problems with turning on game
Yeah.
registration for the VIP holders. I
hmm
Because I wasn't home, and so I did it from my phone. And at noon, I opened I went on the tabletop event site and was like, "Oh, open early registration. Click on it. You sure you want to do this? You can't go back. Blah blah blah." Yes, early registration is open. Okay, great, done. Closed my phone and went back to doing what I was doing. A half hour later, I'm getting pings. People are messaging me, and they're like, "Oh, you didn't open the thing. I thought it opened at noon." And I was like, "I did." I go back on the thing and it's like, "Oh, you want to open registration?" I'm like, "Yes, I did this already." I'm like, "Open." And it's like, "Oh, it's already opened."
Yeah.
The fuck
And the thing is,
it is.
we were getting messages by Phoenix Con. They were having issues.
Oh my God.
And Paul Bacali says they're nice guys, but their product runs like Angel Fire website. And the reason why is
Yeah.
because a little bit of website geekery here. They run a very old version of PHP that's outdated. And what they've done is they've taken a website, and it's not them, it's the old owners, is this is not a website that's originally designed to do what it's doing. They've kind
Sure.
of cobbled together everything. And, instead of just saying, we're going to take the downtime, we're going to develop a full scale, scaled up website like what we're doing. That's modern PHP. It's secure, easy to operate. Because tabletop events, at least for my brain, is not a user friendly website. I just don't like even the setup of it.
Yeah.
But
No,
you're right.
some of the stuff in the back end has definitely
Yeah.
been difficult, and it's not very intuitive, and there are definitely things setting it up that I remember going through, and it sort of vaguely kind of tells you, okay, once you set this up, you can't change this and go back to change it. So are you sure you want to do this? And I'm
Yep.
like, well, I was 30 seconds ago, but now I'm not. Like,
And,
and
there should be no reason why that you cannot go back in and do an edit or do a
yeah,
correction or such. And that tells you their database issues that they're running, the kind of database they're running. They're
yeah,
using probably a really old version of MySQL. I mean, it's just, Scott, talk to you later, my friend.
yeah.
Um,
Later, Scott.
and
Thanks.
it's just, like I said, whenever you take a website, you cobble it together, you're just running around putting fires out is what you're doing. And that's what they do.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. And I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, they can do something about that. And I mean, right now, like they don't have any competition, so I don't know
Yep.
why they would spend the extra money to do it. Hopefully, what you got coming is going to be fantastic.
Yep.
Like I said, keep in touch about it. I'm
Yep.
definitely interested in checking it out.
Yep.
And your the events and stuff for you. When does that open up? Like registration, so people can sign up?
Registration for events is already up and running. We we try to implement a new way of doing the actual listing of games, because
Mhm.
what we want you to be able to click on the game, the box pops up, describes the game, then you can sign up for it. So we are working on that database today. So we should have that
Oh,
database up
okay.
probably
So the
tomorrow.
game registration, so you could sign up to run games,
Yes,
but you can't
yes,
sign up for the games yet.
yes. Because we just got the website up in
That
December, is what we did.
that's coming. Okay.
Yeah,
And do we have a date for that, or is that just?
it'll be up tomorrow.
Oh, it'll be up tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
we're
people know
actually
to sign
coding
up.
on it all weekend.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I got to get with you. I got to get a badge and stuff for myself, my daughter.
No worries. I'll give you one.
So, yeah,
Free
no,
for you.
I appreciate that. You don't have to do that.
No, my pleasure, my friend. Yeah, no, I
Well,
appreciate
I
it.
mean, I'm not going to say no or argue with you
Yeah, you
anymore.
and your daughter, they got a weekend pass. Don't worry about it.
But, but yeah, we'll have to figure out how to get those on so I can sign up for games for
No problem.
her. She's definitely excited. She's 13.
Oh,
And I've
awesome.
taken her to Mepicon a couple times,
Mhm.
and she's had a blast playing in some of the games. Um, she was at CNY. Obviously, she was kind of working most of CNY, but she got to talk to some people and hang out. And she's really getting into some of that stuff. And she's played a bunch of different games, but now so she played like Vaults of Varn, and she played a Morkborg game with Matt, who's in the chat. It's just a fun time, just fantastic. Um, and we homeschool her, and she's part of a larger like co-op with about 20 kids,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna run a 6 week class for a couple hours every week. I'm gonna like run some games for them, and
Awesome.
I want to run like Basic Fantasy, Shadow Dark, Castles and Crusades, Dragonbane. I've been trying to collect like some of the box sets and the starter sets for that stuff, and I want to run different things that's not 5e.
Mhm.
And then I found out like last week, my wife messaged me. It's one of her friends spent 200 and something dollars on core books just for
Wow,
the
nice.
just for the 3 D&D 2024 core
Ugh.
books. And I'm like, oh my god! And she verbally sighed.
Oh, you're
For
talking about core books as in newer D&D.
newer D&D. Yeah, he bought
Oh,
the
okay.
2024 books at whatever $70 a piece or whatever they are. I'm like, oh man, that's just crazy. But I'm gonna try and like get those guys to like have fun playing other things. And like I ran Basic Fantasy for a handful of kids and stuff, and I bought books for everybody because it's that's Chris Goneran's
Yep.
game, and the books he sells at they're print on demand at cost on Amazon, so like $8 for the core book.
Mhm.
They might be a little more now, like $10 or something, but it's like it's the full game,
Mhm.
so or like that, or like Shadow Dark, or Castle and Crusades, only because I've been running that, and I can get they'll send free materials
Mhm.
for schools and things like that. So I just think that's cool. I want to try and get them into running different things instead of having to go back to the big WotC,
Yeah.
Hasbro, whatever. Just crazy. But yeah. So, but that's something that I'll be doing. Hopefully that'll pan out and I'll get some kids there.
That's awesome.
But my daughter's into playing. She likes playing. So she's definitely going to come with me. She'll probably only play like one game a day. That's kind of her limit. She can't do like 3-4 games a day, like like we can.
She's still a lightweight.
Still lightweight, yeah. And even me though, like playing 4 games a day is like starting to get.
It's exhausting, dude.
Yeah, you get like halfway through game 3, and you're like, all right, where's the coffee machine?
Yeah.
I'm 2 max, and I may go to 1. Like,
Yeah.
Roger and
Yeah.
I were at page 2, and we had games all through the day. And I think it was either game 3 or game 4. We were both of us were like, how much are you looking forward to this game? And I was like, dude, I'm fine. Let's drop it.
Yep.
Let's get some food and go relax. I'm fine not going to this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's too
And
much. I've done 3, and it's too much.
it turned out okay. I don't want to call anybody out or anything like that, but it was a game. It was supposed to be, I think it was a 1E or a 2E game, and we had gone to find, and it was like 9 o'clock or so. It was late.
Mhm.
Ooh.
It's like a 9 o'clock game, yeah. And so we had already did like 3 games that day, 4-hour slots and stuff. And we went to find the DM. I don't want to name anybody, and it was supposed to be like 6 players in the game. and we went up.
Forgot about
Yeah,
this.
you forgot about this.
I
We
felt
went up
a
to
lot
the
better
DM.
about dropping that game after that
And
shit.
and I found the table, and he was setting up, and I was like, "Hey, look, man, sorry, but we're just exhausted. We're gonna drop." And he wasn't like happy. He didn't seem happy about it at first. He was like, "Well, it's kind of last minute." And all that. I said, "Look, man, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna be falling asleep at the table. Like, I just
Yeah,
can't do
it's
it."
9 o'clock at night,
But
man.
then he's like, "Well, I had this whole thing planned, and I've got some of my buddies and stuff were coming into the game and all of that." He planned for 12 people, but he only
Jesus.
advertised 6 slots
Yeah.
because he already had like 6 other people.
I have
So-
a feeling you weren't missed.
So we went by, and there were 10 people playing,
Yeah.
at the table, and I'm like, okay, I don't feel bad at all
No.
for for dropping that, because there's no way I'm gonna sit 9 o'clock at night and play a 1E game with 12
The thing is,
12
people
players.
realize gaming can kick your ass.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's just mentally exhaustive, and just sitting there gaming is exhaustive sometimes when you're doing a convention.
Yeah. I did you did you play any games last year at WizardCon?
Yeah, no, I was running my ass off,
Same.
start to finish.
Same. And some of it, I think I probably could have at times. Other times I got full, but yeah, I felt like I was running around the whole time.
Mhm.
And I was, it's funny running the con first time. Like, I kept telling like Jason and Andrew, and I was like, make sure the vendors got water. Do the vendors have water? Did anybody check? And Jason's like, I just handed out waters 15 minutes ago. Like, they're fine. They got 4 waters apiece. They're fine. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you sure
Yeah.
everybody's okay? Like, just so worried about
Yep.
every little thing going on.
That's what makes your convention good. Details.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Don, you had a hard time. We're
Yeah.
a couple minutes past it. I just want to make sure that.
No, you're fine. I actually do have to get going. I have to go pick her up, but
Yeah.
but I appreciate you guys having me on tonight.
No, thanks for
Absolute
coming.
pleasure.
I've had a blast talking. Don't talk about models with me again. You can get me going all night.
Oh no, I'll do it.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think
it
Mikado and I are
was-
going to have a problem with that.
Yeah.
It
No,
was a
I'd be all right
different-
with that.
it was a different discussion. That's why I wanted to bring it up, because we're all, I
Mhm.
mean, we're all gamers and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to talk about some of the other stuff, the fringe stuff that we like to do.
Yeah.
And the model hobby, I think, is closely related, even though you're doing it from a prop standpoint.
Mhm.
It's it's closely related to gaming. I mean, guys like
Yeah.
Ducato are building models and stuff for the table. So
Mhm.
And I'm a
No,
model
so it's
railroader,
cool.
so it's a different kind of modeling, but I'm still very
Well, I'll tell you
interested.
what, Lego modeling, I take my hat off to you. That is a thing to get in your hands on it, dude. That takes a lot of skill.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, 12,000 piece kits, and
Oof.
they just did a
Yeah.
Galactica, 25,000 piece Galactica. I saw
Yeah.
a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
But
Better man than I when it comes to that. I'll stick my resin and such.
I
But
saw someone
yeah,
did
no,
a
thanks.
scale Lego model of the USS Arizona.
oh
And
my god,
I don't know how it
Wow.
was in the guy's garage, like the full length of the garage. I have no
Oh,
idea how many pieces it was, but good lord,
Yeah, that's a build.
wow,
it's a lot of
Yeah.
gray Legos too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't want to hold you up, Don. We'll talk to you. We'll just keep talking to you until
Yep.
you hang up. So
No, you're fine. I appreciate you guys. By the way, I really do. Thanks for having me on tonight, Ducato, Jason, Roger. I really do appreciate it.
Our
Nice
pleasure.
talking to you guys, and anytime, guys.
yeah, we'll have
Thanks.
you on again, definitely.
No
Take
worries,
care. We'll
guys.
see you in April.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Take care.
see ya.
So yeah, that was good. That was
that room
fantastic. Look at you. You got all that room to see all your cool stuff now.
like a VIP.
I can't wait to watch his videos. Like I didn't know about that channel, so that's
Yeah.
awesome. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
That's why I wanted to like bring it up. I'm trying to. I mean, we always talk about WizardCon, the conventions, like things like that, and I know not many people know that he does model building. So I was
didn't
like,
know-
yeah, you
I
know
didn't
what?
know that. That's
Let me
awesome.
let me bring that up. Or
I used to
large
watch like when I was
scale
a kid.
props.
Yeah, when I was a kid, they used to always have like those shows like on how they made like the Star Wars movies, how they made the Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And I was like
Yeah.
glued to my TV with that stuff. And I've said a bunch of times to people like if I could go back and redo my life, I would try to get into like the FX end of like movies and building that stuff. I just think it's super cool. Like I'll watch that guy Johnny Fraser Allen, that from
Yeah.
New Zealand. I watch him build stuff or talk about build, and I just want to go build stuff. Like I just
We met him at
Yeah.
GaryCon, and he was super cool, and he was doing a Kickstarter that dropped off the face of the planet. Does anybody
Yeah.
know what happened to that thing?
The gloaming.
What was the name of it?
The
I
gloaming.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was signed up because I have like all the files for the terrain for the gloaming, and I have a huge like I backed his original thing, Hagglethorn Hollow, and it was a physical product.
Mhm.
I actually got 2 full sets of it. And so I'm like right into it. Like I love that whole thing. I like the vibe of it and the aesthetics and all that stuff. So I was following another one and the guy that was doing the writing for him, he's a Pickle Dragon on YouTube. Matt is his first name. I don't remember his last name, but he's doing the writing and I signed up for the thing and I don't know what happened with it. I don't know. It was tied to Simon Games somehow. So I don't know with them
that could
shit in
be
the bed.
death throws for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's really too bad because and I had no idea who the guy was. We walked up and I saw his models. And I was like, "Good Lord, look at these things!"
Yeah.
Then Roger started telling me about them, and I was like, "Awesome!" And as soon as we stopped and the two of us were discussing it, he came out from behind the table and he just like started talking.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's
he's
talking about
cool
all the
guy.
work he's done, and he was showing us different models, and I was just entranced by this stuff. The only downside to it was it was meant for 5th edition. But I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't have to have 5th edition to play this. I mean, we could move this to
I'll
C and
convert.
C
I
or
was gonna
some other
convert it
thing, you
all.
know?
Yeah, it's super
Yeah.
easy. Like
It looked
CNC's
amazing.
easy
And
to
then later
convert to.
on, we were walking around the gaming area and there was some people playing the playtest.
Yeah. They're
And I
running
was
the
like,
demos. Yeah.
this looks cool as hell, man. I want to
Yeah,
check
we
it
went
out.
Yeah.
up to the table. They were on a break and we're like taking pictures of all the stuff they got hanging out
That's
there.
what I'd be
Yeah.
doing. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Like
And we both
that
signed
guy
up for
is
the Kickstarter, and then
inspiring.
like 3 months later, it just dropped off.
And then the website
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
got some other stuff like because he's one of the I don't know if he still is because I just watched a video from him the other day and
Yeah, I
he's
saw
talking
that he
about
dropped
design.
something.
He's designing his own stuff now. He's been designing because for printable scenery, he's been designing. I mean, they picked up the files for Hagglethorn Hollow, and then in the gloaming, he designed all that. But then after that, there's the one that's like the halflings and all that. I can't remember what that's called, but he did that one, and he was the design guy behind it. They have another whole like coastal city, and it's all tied together. Like all those things are tied together. He did the design. Like there's a video of him with Adam Savage, and he's like built all the houses out of
Yeah.
foam core so he could show the 3D modeler like, hey, it's supposed to work like this and be modular like this, and
Yeah.
it's really cool. And
Oh,
he on Facebook there's a like a Hagglethorn Hollow page, and it's not very active, but like I posted some stuff on there that I bought from Mike Saxon, and that's from the gloaming, and I painted it up like it had the Hagglethorn Hall, and he like was chiming in there like talking about it, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I have some that are painted like this, and I never painted one up like to match Hagglethorn Hall. It was really cool. Like he was giving me little like, oh yeah, you could do this, or yeah, really
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, that's
I'd love to see that book. Like they did put out, I want to say there's an adventure that's out, and I think I have it somewhere on PDF. I don't think it ever was a physical product. They did put out an adventure, but there was supposed to be a much bigger thing with like a bestiary, and this has some of that in it. I think I'd have to try to find it.
so yeah, I'll post that link. I posted in the private chat. I'll post it here. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That link to the Kickstarter that's coming out. Thanks, Paul, for the assist. Yeah. So it's interesting. We were talking to him at GaryCon 2 years ago, and what he does is he does the sculpting in like the miniatures, right? The 25 millimeter miniatures. He sculpts, and they're like, I don't know, a foot and a half tall. He
Yeah,
has them
they're
on the
big.
table, and he carves and he sculpts them, and then 3D scans that, and then shrinks it down, in the modeler, and they print it. That's why they're so high quality. Like I was telling him, like I'm like I have a hard enough time painting, cheap board game minis, like that have no detail. And I'm like looking at this stuff, and I'm like, this is just so crazy. The
Yeah, I have
detail is nuts.
I ended up buying because I was posting pictures of the stuff that I painted, and I had some Reaper miniatures that I'd painted, and I
Yeah,
put them in there and stuff. And he's like, well, I was aware of it because I follow his stuff. So he's like, I designed some halflings because they were halflings, and he's like, I designed some halflings, and I ended up buying some of them, and I've painted them up and stuff. They're great models. They're great models. And
yeah,
he has a separate website because one of the things he came out with was like these gnomes, and each one represents like a D&D class. And you can
okay.
get them. I think you can get them like in miniature scale, but then you can get them like garden gnome size too. That was one of the things he wanted to do.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Some
it
of
was
the
pretty
models he
cool.
had at GaryCon were garden gnome size. What you're talking about
Yeah,
there,
Yeah,
yeah,
and and again, like the detail, I was like,
yeah. It's crazy.
wow, man, look
Yeah,
at this
well,
stuff.
that's why he does it that way. He did a video during the Hagglethorn Hollow or something to show like his sculpting process, and that's why he does that. Like he sculpts them really big so he can get all the details in it, and then they shrink it down.
yeah,
And
Wild.
he's got, if you're into Star Wars, you need to go look at his Jeddah board video. It's in there, and it's just
Okay.
his thing is like when he builds like a table, for whatever game he's playing, he wants it to be like movie quality,
yeah,
look like movie like because he worked on like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, and like some
Yeah.
of the
yeah,
shots in Lord of the Rings they did on miniatures, but because the miniatures were so good, they could do like close-up shots and stuff because
yeah.
the just the design of them was so good that they could get away with it. Where a lot of times they were saying you can't do that with miniatures because they're not good enough
Right.
for that. But
Yeah,
and
when we
there,
were talking to him at GaryCon, he was talking about like Lord of the Rings and stuff. He was talking about
yeah,
how he ran like Weta and all this, and then he's talking about Lord of the Rings, and he's like talking about, you know, him and Pete, working on this stuff, and Pete and I were at lunch and we're talking about this, and Pete and I were working on this, and we're like, wait, Peter Jackson,
Right.
and he's just like talking to him like he's just this guy down the street that he knows
Yeah.
or whatever.
yeah.
We're like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah,
It
it's
was crazy.
super cool. Like I gotta try to get on his Patreon because I'd like to
Yeah.
watch all his other stuff,
I
design
tried to get him
stuff.
to come to New York for CNY, but he wouldn't.
I
New
can't
Zealand's
imagine.
a bit of a hop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a haul.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome, though.
Yeah.
No, it'd be
That would
cool.
be
But
awesome.
yeah, I've talked to him on and off. It's great. I should ask him about this, but yeah,
Yeah, I
slap
thought
chop.
about sending the other guy about. Yeah, that works great. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
The great thing about it is it's fast, and then if you want to do more with it, you can. Like
You just keep
sometimes
adding
if it's
details and stuff. Yeah.
if it's just a mook that's going to die in 5 seconds, he'll get the slap chop treatment, and I'll move on to the next one. But if
Yeah.
it's somebody that I want to put more time in, or it's a really cool miniature, I'll
Well,
do it and then give it a little extra.
where I've been at is I'm printing. I print minis on the FDM printer, and I'll print goblins using green filament, and I print ogres using brown filament, and I print fire giants in
Using
orange
filament
and frost
Ice
giants in
giants.
blue filament.
I'm sensing a pattern.
And but I mean, realistic, like Jason, you've played this stuff, like I mean, they look fine for the table.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, of
you know.
course.
Yeah, that's fine. I
It's
mean,
like,
like I've said before, like I could go play at your table and I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't be fine with that if I was
listen,
doing it, just
after
because it's different to me. But
after
I have no
seeing
problem with
your
that.
stuff, I'd be embarrassed to have you at my table.
Nope, you would never hear a complaint. I have no issue. It doesn't bother me. We use all sorts of. I mean, guys I game with, they use all sorts of stuff, and
I'd be like,
I'm
"Yep,
just
ogre,
for
that's that
me.
quarter."
What is that?
Yep.
Um,
We use a little acrylic
oh,
discs,
Yeah.
1-inch acrylic discs. This is an orc.
Those-
Okay, cool.
perfect.
Yeah,
Orc
Yeah.
1.
For me though, like when I'm running a game, depends on the game. Like my Shadow Dart game, I didn't use any terrain. I don't even think we used miniatures. Like we picked some out. I may change that. I may put some stuff together for this week. But for me, like my regular game, like part of the juice I get out of running games is the presentation of the table.
sure.
So if
Sure.
it's something if I reveal something, because a lot of times it's covered up. If I reveal something and then the game pauses because people are taking pictures and stuff, I don't mind that pause because it's part of the juice, right? Like the effort was appreciated and
No, it's awesome.
enjoyed. So but
Awesome.
like as a player, I don't give a shit. Like I like Theater of the Mind games. Like,
Sure.
I'm fine with that. And then if people just have like I don't like to use proxies or anything like that, but if people do, I don't. If I'm a player, I don't care. Like I don't care. It's fine by me. The only time I've never as a player, I did one of the campaigns I ran, one of the guys that was playing, we were just starting off and everybody had miniatures and he didn't have one. So he stopped at Crossroad Games and he bought and I still have it somewhere. It was this god awful plastic board game, D&D board game miniature of whatever his character was a rogue. And he put that on the table and I was like, that's not going to fly. So I reached back behind me and grabbed something else. I'm like, and I kept it. I don't know. It's kicking around here somewhere, but it was an awful, awful miniature. But I was like, no, I'll paint you up something. It's not a big deal. And I do that I did that for years I still do it, but like there's guys in my group that paint. So they paint if they have a character, they paint their own character or whatever. So I don't have to, but I don't mind doing it. I'm going to
make a trip to Maine to play in your group and I'm going to play my cleric. And I'm going to put my mini on the table so that your eye will start to twitch and you will paint my mini for me.
I'll do it.
There you go.
I'll take care of it. Yeah. It's just, I like the presentation of it and stuff, but again, I don't do it all the time. Like CNC, there's terrain. If there's battle, there's terrain and miniatures for the most part. Once in a while, if it's something real quick, I'll just, we'll just do it and get it over with and then move on. But for the big stuff, I'll build something.
Yeah. And, Edgelord said he's going to start futzing with, the 3D resin printing. What, did you get a printer? What did you get? Or is it an older printer that you have? Or what do you got? I'm just curious. Because I was looking at them, but I don't know if I want to spend the money on a resin printer. I really like the FDM, how I could just tell it to go and it just goes. Obviously, resin printer is going to print higher quality minis, but you have to babysit them. You have to be there. You have to clean the resin off the stuff. You got to cure them.
Yeah.
There's like more of a hands-on process that you need to be involved in.
Yeah, I always said that I'd get both if I got into it. But the more I think about it, the less I want to deal with. And I like resin minis and stuff. Yeah, there's a downside. They're generally more fragile and stuff, but their quality can be really outstanding.
The quality can be outstanding.
I don't know if I want to deal with all the process. Like I think a regular 3D print is enough of a brain thing for me to deal with than to deal with resin and all that stuff.
I mean, there's minis that are out there, and you've seen some of the minis that I've printed on the FDM. They're not great, but they work. But like Tom Tullis there has which is what do you call it? Fat Dragon Games. They've got a whole line of like their minis and stuff that all work for for the for the FDMs. They're designed specifically for that,
Mike,
the original
Mike printed out some really cool stuff for Paige. He was showing me pictures and stuff before he headed out.
Oh
and
man,
the stuff looked
that
awesome.
turtle
Like
is
that
cool.
giant turtle. Oh my god, I got to get one of
Turtle,
those.
and that thing's customizable. Giant
Yeah.
turtle, you can have it with the shell on its back, or you can have like stacks of like stuff.
Building
He was gonna
stuff like
send me
that
the
thing
link
is.
to where you got the STL. I'm gonna maybe print one of those. I don't know. I was thinking,
I
this is
have the
my thought.
STL for that. I can send you that.
Oh, you do? All right. Well, don't.
Yeah, I
I
have
mean,
that.
yeah. Let's talk about it later. Let's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I was thinking for that is to have that giant turtle with like the building on its back that you can customize and have the players and do like a hex crawl. But that thing only can move like so fast, right? So you
Right. It's
set it
not a
moving
speed
in a
demon. It's not
direction,
built for speed.
but you have a hex crawl and the guys go out for like a week, right? Like 10 hexes away or something. And then they come back and now they only got to travel 5 hexes back because the town or their house is caught up with them
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And so they can kind of have like a portable shelter that's not like broken, you know. So his buddy sent him his old printer and he's a Ducato level artist.
Oh, well, that's not saying much.
So that no.
We've seen your work, sir.
I have this Reaper miniature, and I always liked it. It was like it's like a guy in a big turtle, not as big as that, but like a really big turtle, and it's laden with like chests and packages and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that guy's like in some big swamp with like communities built around it. Like that's a traveling merchant or something. And then that thing from Printable Scenery is like a whole different level. Like that's got a house on its back. It brings the shop with him. Thing's
Yeah.
awesome. And they make another version of that's standing up on its hind legs, and like in a some sort of pose or something.
That's cool. Anycubic
Yeah,
Photon.
neat.
I think that was the one that I was looking at. It was Anycubic Photon
I think those are great for
something
resin
for
from what I see.
yeah, no, I think they're fantastic. I just like I said, the
There's a lot more to it.
up and everything, and
Yeah.
like my resin or my FDM, I can tell it. I get it set up. It's okay. I want to print this terrain and all that stuff. I hit go. It starts printing. I don't have to fill the tray and all that stuff. And then I could print it. I can go to bed. I can come back the next day. Boom. It's there. I can pop it off the plate. Can't do that with a resin. When it finishes, you got to come up. You got to pull the thing off. You got to wash it off. You put it in the curing station for so long. Then you got to, you got to dump out the resin. Filter it out, screen it, put it back in the bottle, clean the tray, you know what I mean? You got to, it's like
Too
work.
much for me.
It's like work.
Oh.
The A1 minis are nice. I don't know. A1 minis, I don't know what they're going for now. I think the regular A1s are pretty cheap. I think they're like $200-$300 for the A1s. Which isn't bad. So I mean, I would go for one of those instead of a mini, but that's just my unless the A1 minis are super cheap. But Fallout 5. What do you know about Fallout 5, Jason? Is that going to be
If you're waiting for Fallout 5, you can go ahead and buy a new car and get it paid off before I expect to see it.
There you go.
You see this look on my face, right? That's not a joke.
He's dead serious. Yeah, he's not joking.
Elder Scrolls 6 is being delayed indefinitely because the chief writer, you probably have already read the article, Todd Howard messed around and the guy said, okay, peace out. I don't expect Fallout 5 to be any different. Keep in mind, I'm not an industry insider. I'm just looking at the patterns, man, and I don't see it coming anytime soon. So there you go.
Like I had that feeling about Elder Scrolls and Skyrim, and then whatever they're going to call it.
Elder Scrolls.
And I didn't have, didn't really have my fingers crossed that it was going to be great anyway, based on some past products. So it's like,
they announced Elder Scrolls 6 at the same meeting that they announced Fallout 76. Fallout 76 opened to very underwhelming applause. So between now and then, we have gotten Starfield, which bombed horrifically. We still have not seen an actual gameplay trailer of Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5. When I see a gameplay trailer, I will expect probably another 2 years of development and then another 2 years to fix all the bugs after they publish it. I mean, that's just the state of Bethesda right now, man. So there you go. Go ahead and go ahead and spend your $80 on whatever it is you want to spend it on.
I'm looking at the Bamboo website, and the A1 Mini is $219, and the A1 is $299. So I think I would look into getting the A1 for $299. Now they had some deals at one point with the P1S, which is what I have. And yeah, now the P1Ss are $399. I like the P1S because it's fully enclosed. So you don't have that temperature and humidity swing. But I mean, that's me. But if you're looking at the same A1 Mini and it's $219, you can get a bigger platform, whatever, bigger printing surface for $299. I mean, I'd spend the $80 more and get that. Screw Fallout 5. Wait,
Yeah.
I mean, until it comes out, and there's Mike. Mike will tell you. Mike's on my side with this one, right, Mike? A1 Mini for $219 or the A1 for $299. It's definitely worth the 80 extra bucks, right, for the A1. Mike is the one that turned me on to getting the P1S. Yeah, don't buy the Mini. See? There you go. Don't buy the Mini. You heard it here first.
That was at Page. The three of us stood there for like an hour and a half talking about 3D printers.
Yeah. Well, because I went up to Mike and we were looking at all of his amazing stuff.
That he paints himself. Crazy.
And I'm like, Mike, this has got to be what? 0.2 millimeter and all 0.2 millimeter nozzle. And he's like, nope, 0.4. I go, you're fucking shitting me. I'm like, come on, just tell me. Like, I'm not going to compete with you. You can tell me. And he's like, no, I'm serious. This is 0.4 millimeter nozzle stock on the Bamboo. And I'm like, you're selling me something. And
those trees, man. I mean,
he's
good
like,
Lord.
He's like, no, this is stock settings. This is a standard filament print on the P1S. And I like immediately went home and ordered a P1S. And there was like 5 something, I think it was at the time. And, plus a couple extra stuff and all that. And I spent like $900 on it, but yeah, just crazy. So, but yeah. Don't buy the A1 Mini. Just go with the A1. And buy stuff from Mike, Thunderstruck Gaming. We mentioned you earlier, Mike, but yeah, he's got some good stuff. Go to save up for the A1. There you go. And NYMZ, if Fallout 5 comes out in the next month and you can't afford the $80, we know who to blame.
Go right ahead, but you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Your children's children will see Fallout 5.
Oof. That bad, you think?
Yes.
I mean, I know they get behind.
How much of this do you want me to talk about? I mean,
I get it.
Yeah.
But that's just the going thing. Yeah, P1S with the P1S AMS is $549 in Microsoft. That's not bad. That's not bad with the AMS. That's the multicolor thing for it. I do not have that, but yeah. That's
is that how people get the rainbow effect with the
cool stuff?
With their minis?
Not the rainbow. That's how they get multicolors. The rainbow effect is because you get the filament that changes color as it's on the spool.
Oh, okay.
Right. But you can get different colors. You get 2 different colors, or up to 4 colors with one AMS.
Cool. So it would work kind of like an inkjet printer. Then you've got different bottles of ink.
Yeah, except that every layer that you go up, you have to print like that in the other color as well. So you have stacks of useless stuff that you have to print along with it.
Okay.
The more colors that you want to print, the more they've changed that now with the newer stuff. I think it can change the colors at the head, or they have multiple printing heads on it, which is interesting. But I think that's more stuff that can fail. Um, and wow, 5 more printers to keep up. That's fantastic.
Yeah, man. As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, thank God!" Because when the three of us went to FlagCon, you were telling us that business had gotten real slow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's wonderful news, man. I'm
So
glad to hear that it's picked up.
I'm
Yeah.
glad it's picking up. Yeah,
Mike does great
really glad it's
3D
picking up.
stuff. If you're looking for 3D printed stuff, he does a great job.
Sure does.
Yeah, yeah. Mike, throw message
Throw a link
me.
up, Mike.
Yeah, throw your link
Something.
up. I don't know if you can in the chat. Sometimes it blocks some of that stuff. But if it won't take, send me a Facebook message with your I think
Every
it's
time he,
your Etsy store or something.
yeah, Mike's always showing me pictures of stuff he's working on. It's freaking awesome. Like, and I've gotten prints
Yeah.
from him. They're fantastic. And like, I want to build like whole towns and villages and all sorts of stuff just based off, excuse me, the stuff he's
Man.
shown me.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I think I found it here. Thunderstruck. Yeah, okay. Mike, tell me if the Etsy link is not a good link, but if you want me to put a different one. But here's his Etsy
Put
shop.
his Facebook on there too.
I want to look at his Etsy shop. All right, hang on.
Yeah, but you can get
where's
him through Facebook.
Oh, can you? And yeah, and for some reason my domain servers have okay. That's his
Yeah, that's
Facebook
great
there. Okay, either of those is fine. Okay. Yeah. So that's fine.
Great stuff.
I definitely buy his stuff. He prints the stuff. His stuff that's painted even. My God.
Yeah, it looks great.
You
It's
had
awesome.
me at Titan Salt Cave. I was looking at his stuff at Page.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And he's
I
got
want one
these
of those.
walls. These walls that were painted, and they're not like the standard gray stone. They're like a tan, colored stone and painted up. And man, it looks so amazing. I'm gonna let me see if we can do this here. If I can add
That castle stuff from Printable Scenery is just. I was looking at it earlier today with a buddy of mine. We were online, and I was like, "Man, I'd love to have that." Yeah.
can you guys see that?
Yeah. That's
this
awesome.
is from his stuff at Page. There's his booth, all the cool stuff. That's that.
I love that stuff too, man. That looks
Yeah.
so
The
cool.
treehouse things and stuff.
Trees and yeah.
Just fantastic stuff. I mean, that stuff is all cool. There's a tower in the background. The stairs that are going up there, that goes to a portal, and there's like a printed thing, or you can slide like a cell phone in there with like a swirl, going on. It's really, really cool stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. The tentacles and stuff, I love those. The castle sets. There's at the left, you can see that's the turtle there. I don't know if he's got a good picture of the turtle there, but yeah, you can see the turtle in the back. Yeah, those walls he painted. That it's just, oh my God, Mike, look at that. I mean, is that not gorgeous?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Crazy.
I mean, yeah. And there's the
Turtle.
There's part of the turtle sitting there, and there's his booth. And I think we've gone around in a circle. So that's but that's that. But yeah, he's got some cool stuff. Yeah, big creepy mushroom trees always in style. Yeah, all that stuff is fantastic, and I think his prices are completely reasonable.
Yep.
And he's a great guy. I mean, I'll vouch for him.
Yeah,
he's
he's
a great guy to hang out with, talk to. He'll talk to you. Like I said, we talked to him about 3D printing. He had no problem talking to me about that. It didn't tell me, "Oh no, go away. I don't want to talk." Teach somebody to print. the stuff or whatever. He's been absolutely great with that stuff.
Yeah, Christ, CNY, I talked his ear off. Like between him and the Emperor Choice guys, those were the two
Yeah.
vendors I hit the most. And
Yeah.
Mike was probably the one I hit more than anything else because it's just his stuff is just
And Mike's
looked
awesome.
awesome.
And at CNY, Mike is donating a couple scenes, a couple pieces there that were on the back table. He's going to paint them up, donate those to CNY. They're going to go with minis that were donated by Emperor's Choice that got sent to Ducato. Ducato is painting them, and they're all going to go together in one setup. I'm going to stat up some things and write like a little. I don't think it's going to be a module or an adventure. It's just going to be kind of like an encounter setup or set up that stage there. But I'm going to try and stat it up with like some OSR stats so it'll be compatible with, any of the OSR games, Shadow Dark, Basic, 1E,
Arduin,
any of that stuff. And it'll probably be easy to convert to 5e if anybody wanted to do that too.
And that stuff's all going to be at the auction. Is that correct?
It's going to be in the auction. Yeah, it's all going to be like.
Do you know if Leo's going to be there this year?
Two big collections. Leo was a maybe when I talked to him, and then I don't know. After I started talking to him more about the auction and everything else, he was trying to push, and so he might come up. Maybe he doesn't know with the fam.
If he's there or not depends on the likelihood of me winning the auction.
Yeah,
because Leo will outbid me every time.
There you go. But yeah, so that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be awesome. I can't wait for that stuff. So, it's gonna be a blast. And Mike's coming back. Mike Saxon is gonna be there. Thunderstruck Gaming. He'll be at CNY. So, buy his stuff by all means. But hey, if you want to pick the stuff up in person, or if you see something there that you like that he might be sold or out of, have him print it, pick it up at CNY in June. I know it's June, 6 months away, but hey, there you go.
Awesome.
There you go. Yeah, Shadow Dark Gamer too. Love it. Love to hear it. Daughter, wife, be there, run the booth if need. Yeah. There you go.
Mike, do you have Blacklight?
Oh, Mike, have you heard about Blacklight?
I'm still waiting for that to go on pod.
I think it's back. He sent out a message or something and said that he had fixed the things and it went and it did show up again.
No, it's not back on POD yet. He is going over the proof to make sure it's good to go, so it'll be back up on POD very soon.
Okay, it's waiting.
What was that? What was that thing you guys showed earlier, Roger?
Oh, earlier. So this
I tried to find it online, but I can't find it.
This is from Cannibal Publishing, and this is Shadowpunk, and this is it's a short. What is this? 62 pages. It's Shadowrun with the Shadow Dark rules, basically. And it's going to be like a full-fledged thing. I think at some point they're going to, I don't know if they're going to do a Kickstarter and that was William, I believe, at Cannibal Publishing, which I will post their link right there. Cannibal Publishing. Talk to Troy. He's a friend of Mike's. Mike introduced me to him.
Is it
really great guys?
Isn't that Cannibal?
Sorry, say again.
Is there supposed to be 2 A's in that Cannibal? Is that spelled correctly?
Yes, I copied the link. That's how they.
That might be why I can't find it. No, I found it. But you can't order from them right now, I don't think.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to just get them at CNY, and then you can buy the stuff from there.
You can download a couple things, but I don't see that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm in talks with them. I talked to them a little bit at the convention this weekend, and I'm going to talk to them at some point here and see if they'll come up, see if they want to come up and how they want to do some things. But they're I guess they don't have anything to buy, but they're awesome. Someone has open mic, I think, lots of reverb all of a sudden. Uh-oh.
Hmm.
You guys hearing any reverb?
No.
I am not.
I am not either. I don't know, Mike. Might be just you. But Blacklight is hello. Oh, there he is. Look at that. This is the guy. This is Cannibal Publishing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Met you guys, and I believe it was William, right, that wrote this. I got the name right. I hope. But yeah. No, it was a pleasure meeting you there, Troy. I hope you you had a good time. Everything went well for you guys, and yeah, I was just saying that we'd love to talk to you about running some games and doing stuff at CNY. Yeah, William Dvorak. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's why that's why I couldn't translate the signature. Yeah, no, that's cool. No, those guys were awesome. I shouted you guys out in the beginning too. I mentioned that you guys were fantastic to talk to. So yeah, cool Shadow Dark stuff and whatnot. So yeah, it was good to see you guys. Hope to see you guys at CNY. Yeah, Blacklight is the Scrying Dutchman, and that's it's a sort of future. It's Shadow Dark. It's sort of in the future, I guess, a little ways. And it's yeah, I know you want to talk about this.
No, it's fine.
Well,
No, yeah, go ahead.
no, maybe you should give the description because I'm horrible at giving the
Yeah, it's post World War II, near future. It's kind of like Stargate mixed with Stranger Things. The whole backstory is World War II. Hitler and the Nazis were experimenting with the occult and science mixed up. They were working on a device that would open up portals to other realms so they could bring creatures in so they could fight the Allies that way. A spec ops team, like a multinational spec ops team, went in and shut it down before it went full live, but it was live just enough to cause a tear, the tear of these portals. So now every now and then tears pop up, and the descendants of the original spec ops team is who you are playing. And I don't mean like family descendants, but like, the next generation of this team is who you play, and you go out to shut down these tears, eliminate anything that comes through. And sometimes you have to go through the tears to try and snatch up something of interest. So that's a quick rundown of what it is. It's like Roger said, it's the Scrying Dutchman. And if you are into the Shadow Dark setting, if playing Shadow Dark is your bag, well worth checking out. Super, super cool. If you have any interest in the military type stuff, the detail that he's put into it is absolutely amazing. When we talked about this a few episodes ago, like I said, I opened the book up and just like flipped to like the random thing, and there's a U.S. Army Ranger fast attack vehicle in there, and I was like, you never see this. This is awesome. And then I looked at the monsters, and the first monster was the Wendigo. It's one of my favorite creatures because it's North American monster mythology. It's not European. So I was like all in, and every page I turned, it was like better and better and better. So check it out. Well worth having.
Yeah, it's definitely cool stuff. And hopefully the POD thing will be back at some point. So
yeah, I think probably within 2 weeks we'll see the POD. He said in his last email that he's going to send new codes out to their Kickstarter backers so they can get another copy if they want to. As soon as I get my code, I will let you know so that you know it's ready to go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so we can all get new copies or whatever.
Yes.
Are you going to get another copy?
I don't know. I might get one for me. I might get one for someone else that I know doesn't have a copy yet. Because just so everybody knows, the reason that the POD was taken down is not because there were errors in the book, although there is an errata published, but people were complaining about the print width not being all the way to the edge of the book or some such. So he took it down so it could be reformatted. But if you have the first printing versus, the new printing, I'm sure will have the errata already in it. I don't care about that. So, I'm going to print the errata off, throw it in the back. So if he gives me another, another POD code, I'll use it to someone's advantage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't know if there's anything else that he's fixing or whatever. I don't think there was really anything else,
No,
wrong. So
it's like, and I'm really picky when I start going through books. We were playing, what is it, Neon Lords of the Toxic Waste? Is that what it is? Is that the whole name of it?
yeah,
Roger?
that's the
Sounds familiar.
Neon Lords of Toxic Waste. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what do you call it? Yeah, Brian Shutters.
Brian Shutter, yeah. Brian was running a game that Roger and I and Joe were playing in, and I opened the book up and like, oh my god, dude, the typos and the grammar were abysmal in it. And then we got done playing, and we were talking about the game, and I was like, Brian, I have to ask something, man. I was like, I'm not trying to be offensive. I hope I don't offend you because I had a good time playing the game. It's like, dude, who's your editor? Who's your proofreader? Because this is really terrible. And so he told me the story about it, and I was like, good Lord. So that's the kind of person that I am when I pick a book up. And, sure, if there's a errata that's already published for this thing, I'm not, there's nothing in that book that's like, oh my God, this is wrong. It's
Yeah.
great as it is. So Neon Lords of
Yeah,
the Waste.
cool.
There you go.
Yeah, no, and that'll be fun to get to the table. I think at some point, I don't know if that's something that you're going to run or if I'm going to end up running something.
It depends on how long Ken wants to run his Ashes Without Numbers.
Yeah, yeah, and I think again, I don't know. I don't know if we're just going to schedule that and it's going to be whenever, but I don't know. I was fine with doing the one shot on Sunday.
It's not your bag.
It's fine, but also we don't have a schedule for the game.
Right.
So session 2 is going to be
Who knows?
who knows how many weeks, and
Yeah.
I like, because it's going to be either when there's a hole in the schedule or when we're all free, and that's something that I don't like about gaming like that. I don't like gaming like that.
Sure.
I want to have a set schedule. Like, hey, we're going to run this every week. We're going to run this, and we've mentioned this on stream and stuff before. Like, if you have a game that runs even like twice a month, like, hey, listen, anybody that's out there, bless you. If you can run a game every 2 weeks or once a month or whatever, like, you do you. Like, I can't do that. If I were to run like a once a month like game session, I think that I lose where I was place. I mean, Jason
Yeah.
would.
I
mean,
think,
he's worked
well,
that before.
so that's how my game used to run, was
Yeah.
once a month. And what I never understood was the player disconnect, right? Until I played as a player in a once a month. Like my Dragonbane game that I'm currently in, we only meet once a month. There's just no way we're going to meet more than that.
Yeah.
So like I was like, oh, like I'm sitting at the table, it's been a month, we do a recap. But then I'm like, I need to like look at my character sheet. I need to do
Yep.
this because I'll come home and update my character sheet. But then I mean, Dragonbane,
Yeah.
there's not a lot to it, but I need to refresh myself on abilities and stuff like that. But I was like, oh, this explains why like my players sometimes have a disconnect with what's going on in the campaigns because they have to wait a month before we play. So
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
my CNCs every other week, basically. We run it twice a month. I can't get, there's no way I could get my group together every week. It's just not going to happen. I have another
Yeah.
group, my Thursday night group, which consists of players in my CNC game. We meet every week, but that's different. Like I'm running Shadow Dark. That'll last however long till the adventure's done, and then it's not like my CNC is like we're 3.5 years in. My Thursday night group isn't that way. It's like we'll run whatever adventure, and then somebody else will pick up the reins. They'll do their thing. We'll play a different system. Like I think we'll probably end up playing second edition Ravenloft next. And we played DCC Lankmar and Dragon Slayer last summer, and and it's good because then I get a chance to use some of these games that I got. Otherwise, they just really be sitting there
Right.
collecting dust
Right.
because
Yep.
my CNC game's 3.5 years in, and it could feasibly go another 3.5 years, if not longer, depending on how things go. So, it's nice at least that I get to use some of the stuff I buy.
Yeah, I don't know. I was starting to consider like my campaign that has been CNC. We've been through Basic Fantasy. We've been through CNC. We're gonna try Shadow Dark for like 6 sessions or so. Like if that works out, maybe we'll be running Shadow Dark for a while. But I started to consider maybe you know I don't know, switching every year or so or something. I don't know, run Shadow Dark for a year in the campaign world and then switch to Hyperborea or something, or just keep, go through different, just so
Yeah,
I can run different systems.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like if I only had my CNC game, I'd be. I mean, I'm happy with it. We're having a blast and it's going well. And it's 3.5 years later. There's still plenty of interest and stuff like that. So that's great. But like part of me, I'm always like, look, like you guys too. You're always looking at different systems, and I don't have um a plethora of players that do that because they're mostly. Well, I mean, I have DMs. There's three active DMs in that group. So, but like it's tougher for them to just like switch systems. Like for me, I'm always like looking. I'm always looking for the best thing, and now it's a little bit more measured. It's not just
Yeah.
like when I was a kid. The next best thing was whatever the next edition of D&D was. Now it's like, I mean, I
Right.
haven't run D&D and like official D&D in like 3.5 years, and I haven't even missed it. It's like because I found better versions of it. But yeah, but I want to change it up. Like if we play CNC for 7 years, I got my money's worth out of it, and now let's try something else.
Mhm.
It's just that's just how I
Yeah.
look at it.
You were going to say something, Jason, or
I was going to, Ducato, you mentioned the disconnect between, for players sometimes if the wait's too long, and I'm looking, like Edgelord said, his attention span is too short. I think for a lot of players, certainly for myself, as a DM, you're always in the world. Even if you're not
Yeah.
playing, you're thinking about,
yeah,
this next thing I'm going to write up for my players, and when we play a month from now, so you're still playing the game. But with most players,
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
get their 4 to 8 hours, they put their pencil down, and then they don't get to live in that
There's
world.
nothing for them to do
Right.
until the next time you play. Like
Yeah.
when you're running game. The issue I ran into is because when I was running like monthly, I would have the next session prepared, right? Like I'd be like, okay, this is what we've decided they're going to go do, blah blah blah, and then I would get inspired for the thing after that, and I would start working on that. And the problem I would have is then I became more inspired for the thing that's coming after that. But I also had I would end up having a lot of material ready. So I was always, that was never an issue.
right.
That is totally it though. Like, cause when you're running games, like preparing the game is part of the play. Like,
Right.
and that's how I look
Absolutely.
at it. So, and you don't have that as a player. Like, that's why I actually prefer running games over playing in them. Like, I play in a lot of great games, have a blast. But if I could only do one thing, I would run games by far. Like, because there's always something to do. And there's always, like you said, you're living in that world. Like I'm sitting there, I'm writing or I'm painting miniatures for it, and I'm imagining like, oh, this is going to go down this way, and it won't, because the players will screw that up.
Of course.
They'll dodge this way when they should have gone that way. But you get like you're living in it. It's great. Like it's such a great thing you can have, and that creativity that comes from it because you're always in it and you get to play all the time, which is great.
Yeah.
Wow, Mike, spent $300 on Shadow Dark this weekend. Love what I'm reading. What did
That's
you
great, man.
what did you spend $300 on? Did you buy a bunch of core books, or did you buy all the stuff they had at the booth, like the modules and all that stuff, or what? I'm curious.
You get everything from the picture he showed me.
Oh yeah, did he post that? That's cool.
Yeah, he posted some stuff about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
sent me a
maybe.
message saying, and he got Kelsey's autograph, which I'm jealous about.
Nice.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said, I don't have like a lot of like gaming bucket lists. Like I get to play with Jeff Talanian, and like that was super cool, and I'll try to do that again at the next ShireCon. But like it would be cool to get my Shadow Dark book autographed by Kelsey. I think
Yeah.
I would like that would be
Um,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying. You know, she's busy in June. She's got a couple things going on. Her and her wife are trying to get pregnant.
Trying to have
They're
babies.
trying to figure out the Kickstarter and everything else.
Those
'Cause
are
all
those
that
are
stuff.
well worth it, Edgelord. To get you
Yeah,
get those. Those are well worth it.
you know, I backed them as part of the Kickstarter, the
So
Western
did I.
Reaches, and I almost wish I
Oh, I
didn't
already had
because
them.
they had them all, and I should have bought them. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna have them.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
you'll get them. Yeah.
I'll get them, so I don't want to buy them
Yeah.
I'm a
again.
little I'm a little confused with like the Western. I did a full in with the Western Reaches, because I
Western,
was just
Me
so
yeah,
too.
happy with the Shadow
Yep.
Duck stuff. I'm a little confused, like they're compiling them together as far as like the. I know there's like a player's book for the Western Reaches and obviously a Game Master's book. I don't know. It'll be fantastic.
there's
I
two
mean,
books.
it's out
Yeah, I don't know
quality.
exactly,
So,
but
and
You
I've
were
got
talking about.
two of the new Cursed Scrolls now. Like I got the PDF. She sent those out. They're
they
done.
skipped
I
one.
have three, I think. Or I mean,
Yeah,
number three. I don't have three
there will
individual.
be three. They skipped five, and I think I might get this backwards. I'm not. I think five might be was six the biggest one, or five was the biggest one. That's why they skipped it.
Six, I
Put out
thought.
six. Excuse me. And they're working on it now. Obviously.
Yeah. I got to
Yeah,
play
Yep, those
with
are great. Pre-gens are great.
I got to play with David Beatty, the author of Weird Frontiers. In fact, it was at GaryCon, and I had no idea who he was. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know who the guy sitting across from me was. I didn't realize it was David Beatty. And I was sitting there playing a gunslinger, and it went great. I had an absolute blast. And we were packing up, and I went, "Man, this game is so effing good." And the guy standing next to me goes, "Well, I'm sure David Beatty would love to hear that." And I was like, "Man, I'd love to meet the guy to let him know because this game is right up my alley, dude." And he looks at me and goes, "Well, that's him." And I was like, "Thank God I didn't just shit all over it." I was like, so then I got to chatting for a little while. Yeah, I got to chat him a little bit, and he's and I'm always like, "Oh, he's a great guy." David is a beautiful human being. He does all kinds of work for cat shelters. He's always doing, some kind of charity for them. He's a genuinely good person. So that makes it really easy for me to like the product.
yeah,
That's the thing
yeah.
I have with like
Awesome.
Kelsey. Like I've never met her.
She's so
But like
positive.
every
dude.
time I've seen her
Fantastic.
like interact with people, even people that are kind of like dinks, like she's still like super nice as she can be, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
and she put out a great product,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
I'm happy with it. I've only run one session. I've played more than that. We ran in our Friday night group. We ran Shadow Dark for a while. I had a blast. Like I thought it was great.
yeah.
And I was super excited to get it to the table, and everybody, like I said, I had 4 players, and 3 of them had never played it. So and 2 of them had already bought the book, so like they went over to Crossroads and grabbed copies because they stock Shadow Dark there.
Yeah.
Contrary to what some people on YouTube say, that you can't buy Shadow Dark in game stores.
I've seen it at Millennium in Rochester. I've seen it on the
I've seen
shelf.
plenty of people. Yeah, I've seen
Yep.
plenty of posts from people that I bought this at my game store.
Yep.
That one person I'm referencing is a moron. So,
Mike, what's your question? You mean like, what game was I playing? I was playing Weird Frontiers.
Yeah,
Sure, Mike.
It's
DCC.
DCC.
hold on while I throw my back out lifting this book.
I would, yeah,
Jesus
I would
Christ.
pull my book off the shelf, except I'll break my arm.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need rotator cuff surgery here in a second.
And I have the special edition that I talked to Roger into selling me.
Yeah. No,
I bought
cool.
this.
It's
I was
cool.
hanging out with Bloodworth on one of his streams, and he was talking about it. And I looked it up, and they still had it at Goodman Games. So I was like, I like the Weird West. I've never played in it. And I hate to throw them any credit, but and you can't get it now because they took it off their site. But Critical Role did a live play based on the Deadwood series, whatever it's called, that Western.
Deadwood, yes, sir.
They did a great live play of it. I thought they did a really great job, but it had like undead in it and stuff. And I was like, oh, it's really cool. I love the Weird West stuff, even though I've never played in it. And then Bloodworth was telling me about this, and I was like, frig it, and I bought it. and I haven't
You
got
know,
to the table yet, but I'd love to.
yeah, oddly enough, that the weird is the only part about the system that I don't care for. I'm not a fan of Cthulhu. I've played it. I don't have anything against it, but it is not something I will go out of my way to play. But there was
I
so
love
much
that game.
stuff in the game that wasn't weird that I was like, I'm totally down with this. I talk about playing the gunslinger because that's what I want to play. But I've
Cool.
played 4 other classes in the game. I have played. I've spread myself out there, and it's just been a blast. And uh, last year, Roger and I were in a game. I don't remember who was running it, but it took place at a fort in New Mexico, and the month. Oh, in fact, it had to have been MEPA. It had to have been MEPA.
It was probably
Um,
Matt.
yeah, I think it was. But the month prior to us playing that game, I had just gone to New Mexico to visit my mom, and we went to that national park where that fort was. So he mentioned the fort, and I was like, "Holy crap! Here's this
Yeah.
fort." And I'm showing photos, on my phone
Or
of the fort.
Cyrus. Probably Cyrus.
Yeah, it might have been.
Cyrus,
And
yeah.
I was like, "Man, this is so awesome!" And the whole game, and like the only weird thing about it was that we were fighting giant spiders, like demon spider type things. But
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like you can play Weird Frontiers, and there will be a Cthulhu monster if you want there to be a Cthulhu monster. But if you just want to be cowboys and Indians out in the plains, that's what's there.
Yeah.
Man, it's great. I had a blast
So
playing the game.
I like Cthulhu stuff. Like the best campaign I ever played in was as a player was a Cthulhu campaign, and so I like all that stuff. So then when I found out it was a combination or could be a combination of both, and the little bit that I've been able to buckle down and read of this, like reading like the backstory behind it and all, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And I'm hoping too because we like one of the guys in my group, Zephyr, who's sometimes in the comments here,
Mhm.
Yep.
he's been the one that's been running DCC Lankmar, and I said right off the bat when he said he wanted to run DCC for us, I'm like that's freaking great because that will get us familiarized with the system. And then I have Weird Frontiers, I have Mutant Crawl Classics, which like I have this I bought because I was on this whole Thundar the Barbarian kick for a while, and I was like, oh, that's really
Yeah.
cool. Like I'd love to play something like that. And everything I looked at, they're like, you should just get Mutant Crawl Classics and play that, and you can make Thundar the Barbarian. So I was like, that'd be cool. So that system, just playing DCC Lankmar will get us into like 3 total games that we
Yeah.
have
Mhm.
that we can play. So I was like,
Get
pretty
the
cool. So,
look into the American Survival Guide. That's more Thundar than Gamma World or
Yeah.
Mutant Crawl
Also a
Classic.
blast. Yeah, great game. Great setting.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's America, but it's spelled with a U. American Survival Guide. It's Reed Sanfilippo's post-apocalyptic thing. It came out like just before Mutant Crawl Classics did.
Is it
but
put
it's
out by DCC or?
Mhm.
cool stuff. They authorized it. I don't know if it's got their stamp on it or not.
I'll be right back. I'll find out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Zothique stuff that came out. I didn't back that.
Oh yeah, I
I didn't have
backed
the
that.
money, but I wanted to. The sad part is though, well, the hard part for me was we were just starting to play DCC and I liked it. So I'm like, if I back this, I want it for both Shadow Dark and DCC, but I also want to pay my mortgage. So
Yeah.
I guess I'll do that.
I don't remember what
So-
one I picked.
You
Yeah,
probably picked all of them.
So it's
Crawling
got
under-
their stamp on it, but I think it's published independently.
yeah. Show the title
Yeah, show me that again.
so you can see it. Yeah.
American Survival Guide.
There's two.
Huh.
There's 2 covers. There's that cover, and then there's a cover of like a bunch of them in a car. And like the wizard has a.
Is there something wrong with Goodman's Games website?
There
Oh, you
go.
actually
I
have to
don't know.
click that. Ah, it's lame.
Mike mentioned that he bought all the Shadow Dark core stuff, and small adventure packs, which is cool, and then the all the Cannibal Publishing stuff. So I wanted to go back. I bought the Shadowpunk stuff, and I wanted to go back and talk to Troy about the about what he had there for the for Shadow Dark, and I never did. Oops. So I looked on the website though, and I don't know if I can buy that stuff online or what. So Troy, I don't know if you're still in the chat, or Mike, if you know if they have a store um, to buy stuff from. I don't know. Yeah, just let us know, and I'd love to purchase some of their wares. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, American Survival Guide. It used to be some zines that was crawling under a broken moon,
Mhm.
and then they decided to make a whole like a real book out of it. But it really has the Thundar vibes.
Yeah.
So that if you
It,
want to play
Nice.
Thundar, play that.
that was the first campaign that I ever played with Roger. I'd done a couple of one shots with
Yeah.
him, and he told me about this. It's DCC, which is not my bag. But he was like, I'm going to be running this thing you sent about it. I was like, all right, yeah, I want to play. So yeah, I'll come over and play. And I didn't know anything about it. Didn't really know what class I wanted to play. I opened it up and I saw Petrolhead. It's a driver. And I was like, oh, here's my dude. And like immediately whipped out a character, and good grief, man. I had such a blast playing that guy. My horrible luck kept rearing this ugly head, but I still had a blast playing it. Just a super good time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun game.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. So
American Survival.
yeah. They probably got it on the Goodman store. No? Are you looking at the Goodman game store?
Yeah.
Um so yeah, no, I mean that was fun. That was a blast playing that.
Oh yeah, they do have a different
like-
cover. This one's different than one you showed me,
Oh
Jason.
wow, their website is messed up.
Yeah, you got to click on something to the stupid "I'm not a robot" thing. Usually it does it automatically, but
That's interesting. But yeah. But yeah, if they don't have it there, I don't know. It's got to be.
yeah, they have one. Yep, they have it.
Yeah. So get it. Yeah, like I said, there's a couple different covers. Yeah, it was a fun time. I enjoyed running it. Like the only problem that I have with DCC, you mentioned this before, is the spell casting gets out of control. Can get
Yeah.
Soul
swingy in
swinging.
a hurry.
Yeah.
And
It
yeah,
it saved out. We had in our DCC Lankmar, we only had 3 to 4 players, depending on when we played, but we had one caster, and he was definitely the heavy hitter of the group. Like there was times like when he cast a spell, which was great for us because we were getting our asses kicked most of the time. So it was like awesome, like this surprise attack, and like he casts magic missile and rolls really high and just like vaporizes this thing. And we were like, cool, because I didn't want to
Yeah.
fight that thing to begin with. So let's but he ended up dying too. Like that character was the only one that died in the whole the adventure we did. 2 adventures, I think. We had 2 adventures.
stuff
Yeah,
on drive through.
With stuff like that, especially like the un-American, if you took the magic out of it, it would be Mad Max, and that's how I treated it. Like every time we went to a town, I was picturing Thunderdome, and
Yeah.
I really liked it. The magic got wildly out of hand, and I did not like that. There were times when I was like, okay, I don't want to play this anymore, just because the magic was just so overpowered. Once you hit 5th level or so, it gets really out there. But man, the setting, the game itself, it was a very good time.
Yeah,
And-
we didn't get that high, so I mean, we by the end of our adventure, I think we're 2nd level, so
Yeah.
we didn't
And-
see it.
And the thing about Lankmar is, Lankmar is they do something different with the spell casting, right? You roll the instead of having like an additional effect, you get like a limitation or something for the spell, right? Instead of a mercurial magic effect. Like that
Good. I don't know. I didn't play the magic user, so I know there was
Yeah.
some different. I think there was some differences about it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they were. I know you could get like, I think actually like my son, like his magic missile spell, he actually had to roll like with disadvantage, if that's a thing or something. He had like a penalty to it because he during creation, like something went screwy and he gets kind of boned on that spell. But it actually, I don't think it ever really failed him. He really kicked some butt with it. So
Okay. Yeah, because I know
which is great for us.
there's some things where you end up like with regular DCC, there's what's called mercurial magic, I believe, and you roll on the
Yeah.
chart every time you learn a spell, and then it gives
Yeah.
you like an extra thing that happens that could be bad. But in Lankmar, what they do is, I think it's like a stipulation on the spell, so it might say you can only cast the spell at night, or you can only cast the spell
Yeah.
while you're facing west, or or
Yeah, I
things
think
like
that is the case. I haven't read much of the Lankmar stuff. I have it, but I didn't want to read it to spoil anything. So
yeah.
I haven't really read it. But yeah, that sounds familiar though from the way like my son and Chris, the game master, was
Yeah.
describing stuff. But
Yeah,
it
and
was I think they did a good job like with the Lankmar because you only have 3 classes. You have fighter, rogue, and a wizard or whatever they call it, magic user, and then that's it. And then they have like fleeting luck and just the way that works. And think you can actually get healing from like drinking or something. I don't remember.
yes, yeah, from drinking booze, yeah.
I thought it was cool. And just like being a guy that enjoys different settings,
Yeah.
get to play around with Lankmar and have like a name drop that like to me rings a bell. Like my character might not have a clue, but to me it's like I'm like, oh yeah, like we got some, I don't remember now, it was some item or something, and it was from Isaac of the Jug. And I remember reading about him, and then when I read more about it, he was like, oh, like a guy named Fafard was like his acolyte or something. And I was like, oh, I know who that guy is. So that's kind of cool.
Mike, I looked on drive through. I couldn't I didn't find anything. Troy, the other Shadow Dish have put on drive through soon. Is there anything on drive through right now? Because I tried searching for Cannibal Publishing and I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it says
there.
about their website being down, or it's up, but like it's being worked on, I guess.
Yeah, this is the problem. This is and I've talked about the darkness spell. That's my usually go to when I talk about it. You blot out the sun for a week, but yeah, Edgelord wife put a whole town to sleep indefinitely. It's like that's a problem. Um, yeah, Paul, it's fun. It's fine. I had a good time with it. Sometimes just campaign play, like when we were playing like post-apocalyptic game, like we had a cleric, and he would cast like bless, and he'd bless everybody before they went in the battle. And sometimes he'd roll like a 35, and it's like everybody gets +10 to hit, +10 damage, +10 AC. And it's like, okay, you guys just massacre everybody. Like
Right.
nobody can hit you anymore. Like, sorry.
Yeah, there was at one point we had been captured by a bunch of Aztecs, and they were using blood magic and they were going to kill us or whatnot. We managed to wriggle free, so now we're like squaring off against this blood war god that they have summoned, and we're all like, we're about to get stomped by this dude. And then the wizard rucked up and rolled a natural 20, and his magic just exploded, and he one-shotted the guy. And as a player, I'm like, okay, my Doc gets to live another day. But also as a player, I'm like, well, that was not exciting at all. So pick your side, I guess. I don't know.
I don't remember what the actual thing was, Paul. It was it was 35. Like the bless allies or whatever, it gave everybody like a +10. I want to say that he was level, I don't know, 7, 8, maybe. I don't know at the time.
I've got Doc right here. I can tell you.
Yeah, and then probably I don't know, like a +3 or +4 intelligence bonus. So
level 6.
So if they were level 6, that means so he was getting a +6, probably a +10 to the roll. So maybe it's 30 in the chart. So something like that. Yeah, Paul's gonna go check the book. Yeah, check the book.
Your exaggeration is being fact checked, Roger.
Let me know. I know. I thought it was like +10 though. I thought
Yeah,
I didn't think
it was a
lower than
lot.
that.
The highest that I remember for sure was +8. It might have been +10, but I remember us getting
Maybe
+8
it was +8,
all
and
the time.
I rounded. Yeah,
And that +8
yeah,
was just, man, we were nothing could stand against us.
yeah, yeah. It was nuts. So, yeah, just crazy stuff like that happens with DCC. So you know, what are you gonna do? You know, uh, it happens. Um, it's a different game. That's you
Mhm.
kind of got to remember that going in. Um, I do like the idea of doing Lankmar though. I think
That
Lankmar is
was
really
fun.
fun.
We're gonna do
Yeah.
some more of it. My
Yeah,
buddy actually reached out to me today about our gaming weekend, which we haven't scheduled yet. But like, if anybody else had, he wants to run. He has
yeah.
the other box set, which I forgot the name of it for Lankmar, and he wants to run that as a session.
The Greatest
I
Thieves in
don't.
Lankmar.
Yeah, I think that's what it's
That's
called.
the other Kickstarter. Yeah, I have that. I definitely want to run that.
Yeah, I
I
don't have
definitely
that one.
want to.
I have the regular box set, and then I
Yep,
have a book with a bunch of the
yep.
adventures and locations in it. I have a location book too, which I shouldn't have bought because it's all that stuff's in the hardcover book I bought as well. But um, yeah, and I get the MCC book and 2 copies of the core book. Well, it's cool. I mean, it's cool. It's fun. I mean, again, like we're only second level, so the swinging magic was definitely a benefit to us because none of us would have survived if it wasn't for
Sure.
that.
Yeah. No.
Um,
I mean, it's fine. You know, it's just it gets crazy. You know.
does it? It only
Um.
goes to. Does it only go to like 10th level?
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Just 10th level.
Roger did a one shot of Lankmar for, yeah, it was at the
Oh,
local game
excuse me.
shop, and I was one of the players. In fact, I think it was just me and one other guy, and we were trying to escape prison.
Maybe.
Like, we wake up and we've got a hangover and we're in prison. We're trying to escape, and things kept going very poorly for us. And the other guy was playing a wizard. I was playing a fighter, and we were we were like in dire straits. We're either going to get out of here or we're about to die. And he looks at me, and goes, "I'm going to use blood magic." Or whatever, you hurt yourself, so it boosts your spell burn. That's what it is. I'm going to use spell burn, and I
Melbourne.
was like, "Go for it." So he spell burned, and he cast in large on my fighter, and his that
Yeah.
bonus was like, I was like 25 feet tall and just
Yeah.
all swole. And like I started just knocking down walls. And every time we came up to guards, I was just going, run, run. And they were all failing morale checks left and right. And so at this point, the guy playing the wizard and we were just like laughing our asses off because we didn't have to fight anybody. Because as soon as we appeared somewhere, the guards would just bolt from us. And so I'm just running through town, just yelling for people to run. So we got away. That's how
Yeah.
it ended. And I had a blast. So, even though I think the magic gets out of hand sometimes, it is still a lot of fun.
Yeah,
But
that happened in our game too. Like my son he had the enlarged spell and he cast it on the party fighter and we were right in the beginning, like we basically snuck into this mansion thing while a party was going on and we were breaking into the vault and then but the fun part about it was how he played it, and like the guy that got it cast on his character. But then after that, because it was so like empowering, he just played his character like addicted to my son's magic. Like he always wanted him to cast enlarge on him because it was just badass. So he's like,
that's pretty cool.
uh,
That's a great way to play it.
yeah, he was right into it. So it was fun. He did the whole run through the wall. Like we were chasing down, I think somebody from the Slayers Brotherhood that had tried to intercept us, and he Kool-Aid manned his way through this wall and went out into the streets, and it was great. I mean, it is. I mean, they do call it like a Gonzo fantasy game, so I kind of get
Yeah.
like the swinginess and craziness of the magic and some of the results you
Yeah.
can get.
No,
It was fun.
it's fine. It's
But I
fine.
could
It's
see where like it would be tough over time, especially as a game master to be like, how am I going to deal with this? Like Edgewood said, the town's
yeah.
asleep for a month.
Yeah, and you kinda gotta lean into it, and you just gotta make it, this gonzo thing. And I mean, I think, like, the world was kinda crazy and stuff, so there was some things going on that, kinda also fed into that. But it's hard when you have, like okay, you've got a PC that can give everybody this bonus, right? And okay, that's fine, but now that means I have to give this to a bad guy, right? Now, what happens when the players go up and they're gonna, run into battle with the bad guy, and that's when the cleric rolls a 1 and the bad guy rolls the 30 on the chart,
Yep.
and all of his guys get +8 or whatever, right?
which has
Now it's
happened.
like
Yep.
now it's like, "Oh, you guys are fucked." You
Yeah.
know?
About the
Like,
TPK this party.
so yeah, it's that's like the thing where it makes it really swingy and hard to like figure out like, oh, okay, like do do we just kill the party because of a bad roll? And I mean, and I'm
Right.
not against like the party deaths and things like that. You guys know, I mean, I've had TPKs and stuff. But when it comes to like, oh, because this one roll failed, like, should the
Yeah.
I don't know.
Forces you to get a little bit creative, right? As you got to be able to, as always, as a game master, you got to think on
Yeah.
your feet and stuff. But sometimes it happens. Like I was in my CNC game when they were in the Underdark, so they had to go there to get a piece of the rod of 7 parts. And my thing with them going to the Underdark, which I was fine for, like I was like, this is awesome. I had all sorts of stuff in mind to do while they were there. But one of the things I really wanted to impart to them that this is not like you strolling across the hill country around your base town. Like this is a dangerous place where pretty much everything, with a couple of exceptions, wants to kill you.
Mhm.
And that, I mean, it was rough. Like those sessions were very, very difficult. We ran like 6 sessions there. And there was one that I ran, one encounter where they fought, they kind of stumbled across like drow slavers, and in the midst of doing, like, I don't know if they were fighting somebody else or whatever, but then the drow turned their attention on the party and started whacking them with the hand crossbow bolts with sleep poison. And people like my son, his character got dropped like immediately. Ran in, I think he murked one character. Like they had some bugbear, slaves that were fighting for him. The drow did, and he murked one of those, and then got hit with a sleep potion, and bam, down he went. And they were like, "Ruh-roh." And then the party wizard ended up getting dropped, and they're dropping globes of darkness, and it's just, and I could see looking around the table, they're like, we may wind up as slaves. And I was like, and I'm in my head, I'm like, yep, you may. And I wasn't really, that's not what I saw happening. I didn't think this was going to be that tough. But it was great, but it really imparted to them, like, so at the end of that 6 sessions, they were successful. They got what they wanted. And I had like a whole plan for like when they were going to leave, like all these different encounters and adventures. Cause it's, it takes a long time to walk out of the Underdark. But
Yeah.
they were pretty, not, I don't, they weren't upset, but they were pretty vocal about like, we want to get out of here. Like this place is just, it's been like one near death experience after another. So I gave them the option when they completed their quest. I was like, okay, it doesn't matter to me which one you pick, but here's your option. I have other stuff in mind, for your return journey to the surface. Or if you guys want, we can narratively describe how you leave the Underdark and stuff. And they universally, they were like, we want to narratively do this, because this was a
Yeah.
giant pain in the ass. Like this was really tough, because they knew too, like they lost a player character there. They lost one of their fighters, he died. And then one of the an NPC, which they were way more attached to than I realized. And I didn't intend it. That's just the way dice rolled. It could have killed like my son's character, or matter of fact, it happened after the PC death. It could have killed the player's new character, like the attack could have. And it just happened to randomly hit the NPC. I didn't realize how attached they were to that guy, but which was good, in a way. But yeah, it was tough. And it just, I like to giving them that option though, and they took it. They're like, nope, we'll narratively do this and get out of here. I'm like, okay, but now they won't ever be like, oh, we'll just go to the Underdark, because sometimes players get, because they're the player characters and they're the heroes of the story, and they just sometimes it gets into their head that they can do pretty much whatever they want, which is
Sure.
fine, but like that's not always the case, right? So they're like, I don't think they'll ever be like nonchalant about going to the Underdark. It's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, that
'Cause it
seems
was an ass
crazy.
kicker.
Can
Yeah, it
I
was an ass
say
kicker.
one more thing about Blacklight and then I'll let it go?
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I went to drive through, I looked up the errata, I downloaded it, and I printed it. This is the entirety of the errata. Here's a monster that wasn't in the book. That's it.
Oh,
Is it going to
That's
be
it.
in the new book?
Most likely. I mean, if that's the only issue in the book, this is a very well produced piece of
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
it's
I'm done.
awesome. It's awesome.
that's cool. Yeah, I
Um,
want to grab it. Another one I saw that Shadow Dark related, and I saw it watching a live of somebody going through the vendor hall at Page, it's called Dark Space. Now it's a sci-fi version,
I backed
but
it.
you
Yeah.
need the Shadow Dark book to run it. It's not a standalone or anything.
Well,
It looked
Blacklight
kind of
says the
cool.
same thing, though. Blacklight says the same thing.
I mean,
You
honestly,
need
the
the
Shadow
core
Dark
book,
rules
but
are not that complicated. So once you've
yeah.
played Shadow Dark for a little bit,
Mhm.
you probably won't need the book, for too much. Which is great. That's not a negative at all. Like I think
Mhm.
that's actually a strong positive.
Mhm.
But it looked cool. Like the guy spent a little bit of time at their booth, and I was like, oh man. So I started looking it up and stuff. I was like, oh, that actually looks pretty cool. Because I wouldn't mind doing
Yeah.
like a sci-fi game. I mean, but the only real sci-fi I have is very like IP, right? It's like either Star Wars or Aliens. I think those are the only two sci-fi games I own.
Yeah.
So it's like that would be cool because you could do something generic if you wanted to do like your own thing. That would be really kind of neat.
That's cool.
And I like their logo too. The
Stars Without Number is pretty cool. That's cool if it's got an oxygen timer. That's cool.
Yeah, that does sound cool.
Troy, I was looking to find some of the stuff on drive through and I still couldn't find it. So I know you said that the other Shadow Dark stuff will be put on drive through soon. And Mike said that you have some stuff on drive through. I was looking for it. I didn't see it under Cannibal Publishing. So if you've got something,
Cool.
let me know and I'll throw a link up. But because we'd love to buy your stuff. But yeah.
Oh, Deathcore
Yeah.
minis. Those are cool, Edgelord. I don't play, but I would like to paint some of those.
Yeah, I backed the Dark Space Kickstarter when they
So you
did
must
something because it's out.
you must
It's
have
been
it.
out.
Yeah, because you can get the game now. You can get that.
Yeah, but
Okay,
I
I
backed
almost ordered it.
like they did I don't know. I think this was like a redo or something. I don't know. Maybe not printers, PDF, and page. Yeah, okay. Let's see. They're at Page this weekend. Backer surveys late January, early February. Once we're back from Page, we'll begin to send backer kit surveys. So yeah, but this is something for I don't know. Like I saw it. It says Dark Space Sci-Fi rules for Shadow Dark, but I don't know. It must have been already print or something, and this is just for a like a deluxe edition or a reprint of it or something. But yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, that'll be cool to look at because I like the sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, I
So
like to
the
mix it up.
Kickstarter's for the. Oh, okay, Mike. Troy stuff isn't up there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mike. Let me know. So you were talking about the DCC stuff. Okay, never mind. I just wanted to make sure because I want to support Troy because he's got some cool stuff. So definitely in on that, and it's Shadow Dark stuff, which is been pretty good. I'm going to start running that soon, and we'll go from there.
I've had fun.
Yeah.
Super easy to prep.
What's what's been the differences between, say, like I know that CNC is like different, but like from any other kind of OSR game, like we know the torch mechanic thing is there. But what else is like something that sticks out that you were like,
So
oh,
yeah,
different?
well, so what's different with Shadow Dark? Like the session I ran the other day, we didn't even get to where they needed torches, right? So that wasn't a factor in that session. But what I have noticed from playing it and running it is how fast it moves, because you're always in initiative, right? We did some stuff in town, like when they first started off, just getting their job, because I didn't want it to just be like bam. I wanted it to be more like like how I would start like a regular long campaign.
Initiative, yeah.
So we played a little bit of that, but the initiative, because you're always in initiative, like the game moves so much quicker. Like it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then you go through, combat starts, we roll initiative to
Did
get
you
your
do that
order.
in town and stuff? Like, I mean, you said you
No,
didn't at first, but as soon
no.
as you leave town and you're in the wilderness,
Yeah,
you're in rounds.
you're in rounds.
Or
And
yeah,
sometimes you're not doing anything. I mean, they had to go from town to where the keep is they're exploring. So like
right.
narratively, we just talked about the journey. Nothing happened until they broke off from the road. And when they broke off from the road and were going up this old road that led to the keep, they got ambushed by bandits. So that was our first initiative, was actually combat initiative. But then after that, they were in initiative. We got them up to the keep, and then they started working their way through. So what that does is it really moves the game along pretty fast. Like you'll get
Yeah.
a lot more done. The one thing that I did notice, like in the group that I was a player in, and we were all new to Shadow Dark, is because we got locked into that mindset, especially when we were we were crawling, right, doing the dungeon crawling. The group I was in, or I'm still in, but the group that I was playing with, there was a pretty heavy like role play group, but we weren't doing any of that with Shadow Dark at first because we were just so locked in that we were like clearing rooms like a SWAT team. Like it was just bam, hit that room. Everybody goes through their turns. You'd have, maybe half a dozen rounds of, whatever was going on, if that, and then right to the next one. And we cleared a lot of stuff. Like in an hour and a half, I think we cleared like 7 rooms in this one of the pre-written things for
Were you
Shadow Dark.
re-rolling initiative for like every room or just staying
Yeah.
in that order?
No, we would
You-
no, we would re-roll initiative, because then when combat starts, you want to roll initiative again. Because the way it works is the only thing that matters who gets the highest number.
Yeah, right. Because then it
Because
goes clockwise from there.
right,
But that's why I was wondering if it really matters then if you roll initiative. Just whoever
I
kicks
think
the
it
door in, and then the next person goes, and
I I think it does, because if we're in, like, say we're just in like initiative and we're searching rooms and stuff like that, re-rolling initiative for combat adds a little bit of tension to the game, because you want like I'm sitting here, you
yeah,
want the
right,
guy
right,
to
right.
my left to be the guy that wins, because that means I
Yeah,
go last as the game master.
sure.
And every conversely, like if I roll high, or like the guy sitting to my right rolls high, means I get to go pretty quick. And Shadow Dark is definitely a game where you're better off not taking
So
hits.
then, so
So
then when combat ends, do you roll initiative again for the outside, or do you just keep
no, I
combat
think
initiative?
we just kept that one. Um, if I'm recalling correctly, we just kept that one, and then when a new combat started, we'd roll again.
So you would
And I'm
roll
probably
initiative.
making it.
You would roll initiative for the bad guys
Yeah, and it
for
only
combat.
But the thing with that is, it's only matters if I win. Like if I get the highest
Right,
number, it doesn't
right.
matter if I don't get the highest number, because we're just going to go in that clockwise order from the
Now, what if there's
highest.
multiple bad guy groups? Are you rolling separate for each of them, and
No,
then
no.
it doesn't matter. You just take the
I mean,
highest.
you could. I didn't have that in my game that I was playing in, so, and I'm not sure in the game where I
Yeah,
was a player if that was done. You could do that. Like if you had like say you got an ogre and he's got a bunch of goblin minions, you could roll for the goblins and the ogre, and kind of gives you advantage as a game master to see.
So this is what Edgelord is
all
saying, and that's what I
because
thought
all it's
too.
going to isn't it it's going to matter only who gets the highest number, and after
Yeah.
that you don't even have to pay attention to it because it just goes in
Yeah.
that order. Now,
Yeah, that's
not
interesting.
the way I've ever played it. It's not one roll. You re-roll
Yeah.
for combat.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think it's interesting mechanic because it moves the game along.
I'm
like
just
even when
wondering for like,
I ran my session the other night, they got further than I had planned on them getting. I didn't think they were going to get
just
as
because
far
it's
as they
efficient.
did. It is. It's very efficient. It's very efficient.
I just wonder for like hex crawling, like how does that work? How does that play out?
Yeah, I mean, in some regards, I don't think it's going to make that big of a deal. It's just how you're going to go around the room in order, right? So, like, if the guy to my right, my left, wins the initiative, and they're just searching, I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then he'll be like, "I'm doing this and this," and I just go to the next guy. "What are you doing?" "I'm doing this, this, and this," and then they do their
Yeah.
thing. Then we move on to the next one. We go right back. "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm back to the original guy." I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing this." I'm like, "Okay, great." It just keeps, from my experience, it just keeps the game really
Yeah, so
moving.
that's even what Mike is saying. I think by the rules, it's one roll for the whole session. It's always on initiative, so even not a combo use that turn order. Yeah, but what Ducato is saying is that you have that initiative, but then as soon as combat is going to start, you roll initiative again, and it's a new initiative.
I don't have my book. It's in the other room. I don't know. I mean, that's how I
don't
did
know.
it in the
Yeah,
game
mine's
I
in the other
played
room
in,
too, yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's how I did it in my game. Because then you're not. I think if you do just one roll, it's very static. You lose that tension. You could do that, like Edgewood could be right. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But the games I've seen,
Yeah.
like I'm watching the Glass Cannon Network. They're doing Shadow Dark as their main game. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They have, when combat starts, they roll initiative.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to know what the rules are in the book, That's
Yeah.
what I want to try that.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I've played it.
Yeah.
And then that's the way I run it, and that's why I've seen other
No, that's
people
cool.
run it.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
the only rule that we didn't really change how it works, but like when a character goes down, right, they go to 0, you get your con bonus plus a
Plus
die 4 in
1d4, right?
round.
Yeah.
But what we do, and I don't think it says to do this in the book, what we do is the game master rolls that, and he doesn't tell anybody what he rolled. So you have no idea how many
Yeah.
rounds the guy has, or the gal has, or whoever, before they die.
Yeah.
And that just adds tension to the
Makes
game.
sense. That makes sense. I'm like, I don't have any problem with that information being public.
Well, the thing of it is it gives those characters a sense of urgency, right? Because they're like,
you
well,
have no
shit,
idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like if with 5e, like not to crap on 5e, but like the way it's written, I
Yeah.
know that guy's got a couple rounds probably, unless he's
You
rolling
can see it happen. Yeah.
ones. He's going to be fine. So what we started doing, actually, when we were playing 5e, like I started doing this. I wouldn't tell anybody whether I made my save or not. The battle's going on, they have no idea. So I would just, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'd be down, and my game master would be like, "Hey, make your death save." I'm like, "Yep, okay." And I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
that's what Mike
anything.
is
And
saying. I
then
probably reroll initiative each separate combat encounter. Yeah.
everybody adopted that rule eventually, and it added a lot more tension to that
Sure.
rule. Where I didn't think as written, death saves added really any tension to the game.
Right.
But when you don't
Right, 'cause
know,
you know
we
what the
had
thing is.
and we had characters that died from that because we were in these fights, and then we go over and like we knew we went down, but like I got all this other stuff I got to deal with. So it's like, and we get rid of that and go over, and they're like, "Oh no, he's dead." And I'm like, "What?" And I had lost track of like the rounds. Like I'm like, "Oh, I thought we'd only like been going for like 2 or 3 rounds. It'd been like 5,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh shit," So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's interesting.
it doesn't slow the game down at all to reroll initiative, and I think it adds, if it's not a rule, I mean, I just think it adds that tension to it. Whereas otherwise,
and
you're
that's
going to know like the entire time through the game, like when combat comes. I mean, I would roll. Maybe it would be me because I'd have to roll for my guys, but I've seen it not played that way, so I don't know, but it works from
yeah,
what
and
I've
it's just
seen and
a
experienced.
D20 plus dex.
It's just a yes, I think. Yeah, yeah. I think so.
Fantastic.
I don't know. I don't. I'm trying to remember if I wish I had my book in front of me. I'm trying to remember if monsters have an initiative bonus in their stat.
Well, they have a dex bonus, right? So
Yeah, because they give them they
they
do.
get the
I was
full
thinking
stats. Yeah.
CNC that doesn't give them full stats. So yeah, they
Yeah.
have full stats. So if they had a dex, yeah, we add dex bonus.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, like
It's
Mike
super
said,
simple.
you can
The
roll a
only
new character in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like by the time your turn comes around, you probably have your character done. The thing that I didn't see
Yeah, we'll
Edgelord,
see Edgelord. We're probably going to close up shop here soon anyway.
that I didn't factor in
Jason's going to
is
close up shop before the rest of us, I think.
Man, the bags under my eyes are turning into a full suit of luggage. It was a rough
but
day.
you have to keep track. You have to keep track of your rounds when you're in combat, or when you're doing anything. You have to keep, because every 3 rounds outside of combat, you should be rolling for like random encounters.
Right. Right.
And I didn't
Right.
like. Thankfully, like my friend Brendan, who ran it for us, my other group, he was playing in my Thursday. He's playing in my Thursday night game for this, and he's more familiar with it than me because he asked me, he's like, "Are you tracking the rounds?" And I'm like, and he's like, "Yeah, you got it." And I'm like, "Oh shit, that's right." So,
That
and
helps a
then
lot.
I think, yeah, and I think what happens, like if you get stuck in like the dark, it's every round you roll for random encounters, not every 3.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys have seen my Facebook profile. Well, I don't know if it's is it my profile picture? It's probably my
Is that-
profile.
is
Oh,
that
is
with
the
your
one
hair
I
all
have
up?
it?
Yeah.
Oh, I have one from PayPal that has you with like you got but there's no hair on the top, like it's
Oh,
shaved.
no. If go look at my Facebook profile picture and
Oh God.
you'll understand why I wear a hat.
You were holding on to a static ball
Oh,
or something like that, were you?
oh yeah, I've seen that.
Oh,
I
it
have
just
seen that.
happened. I pulled my
Oh.
hat off one
Oh.
time and it just went. I think I had some static going on and it went crazy and I gave this crazy look and Jeff at Meyer took the picture and I was like, you need to send that to me. You look like a maniac. What
There's one
is
guy
that
wrote in a comment,
now or
he's like,
normal?
been worried about you, dude. Haven't seen you around lately. Good to see you're in good health. And it's like this crazy manic picture. I'm like, I don't know if he's serious or not. Like, I would still be
Yeah.
concerned after seeing this picture. I'm like, I don't know how that
Yeah.
reassured him.
I mean, if you know me. Yeah. That's
That's
yeah,
friggin' funny.
it's interesting. So yeah, good good times. I think yeah, we're gonna try on Sunday. We're gonna try Shadow
Awesome.
Dark for the first time. We're gonna do
Can't wait
character
to hear
creation.
how
We're
you
gonna
make out.
do backstory with the whole world and everything. And we're gonna run it as it is before I fully incorporate everybody into the actual world. But because I have to have an existing city, so that's going to be interesting for
Are
carousing.
you is this something totally new, not connected to your CNC or?
No, it's very connected. It's going to be in another place in the
What you
world. The
thought?
problem is the continent's sort of like a dead continent. Well, I mean, as far as civilization goes, civilization left a long time ago. But I'm going to have a town that's an existing town that's been there for a while that I'm going to insert these guys into. This way we could do carousing and all of that.
Nice.
So it's just going to be interesting because the town can't be, just a few years old. It's going to be older than
Right.
that. So
Yep.
so we're
That
gonna
sounds cool.
play with some things, but I think it'll work out. We'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. But
Yeah,
that'll be
sounds
really
good.
fun. That'll be next week. Don't know what the topic is for next week. I'm talking to a few people about getting them on and doing some interviews some more and talking about stuff. Um, like Jason Vey is excited to come on and talk about A&A and his I can't think of his Elf Layer Games. I think is his
Yeah, I
game
think
company.
so.
So that's pretty cool. I think he's a cool dude to talk to and all that. So he was fun. So yeah, he's definitely planning on letting me know when he's free, and yeah, we'll go from there, and that'll be fun. He was yeah, he messaged me after Page because I basically beat one guy with another guy. So
Jeez.
yeah, you know, I played the same character that I played the last time I played with him, which was just a
The pugilist.
pugilist. The pugilist. I ran into a room and like knocked 3 people over, and then I was on top of them, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna grab the first guy that I'm on top of and slam him against the guy that's below him, and hopefully they knock heads and trying to knock them out. And that's, you know, before they have a chance to pull guns because I can't get shot. That hurts, but you know, so yeah, no, it's a good time. So, but yeah, so Shadow Dark Sunday. So we'll be talking about that, you know, and yeah, we'll go from there. What else? You guys got anything else? Final thoughts or anything else you want to touch base on?
No,
Yeah,
I think I'm good.
fantastic. All right. So we'll get stuff posted for next week as soon as possible. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you guys you know, next Tuesday.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
All right. Yeah, thanks for coming.
See
It's
y'all.
been a blast. We'll see ya.